Looks like I'm living rent-free in your heads again, huh? I mean, if you're gonna spend your days obsessing over me, you might as well start calling me something respectable. Maybe Daddy Shizzy, or better yet, Papa Nut. Who's the grown-up here? Alright, it's me. Let's go. Call me Daddy, yeah, that's who I am. Running your mind's like a master plan. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, take your pick. Alone in your thoughts while you still act sick. Call me Daddy, it's what you mean. Why you chase the crust and I take the lead? Living rent-free, that's my name. Go ahead, say it, put some respect on your name. Man, I'm too old, well here's a surprise. I'm the one with the brains while you're stuck with the lies. You act like you're experts, but here's the reality. I'm the one controlling your mental reality. So while you're out there trying to throw shade, I'm sipping coffee and you're feeling betrayed. You're mad, I got the spotlight, now it's my time. So why not call me Daddy or Papa with a rhyme? I'm the landlord and you're just the tenants, stuck in your headspace with no insight, no repentance. Call me Daddy, you know it's true. You'd be lost without me, stuck in the glue. Call me Daddy, I'm holding your mind while you're scrambling, trying to find what's behind. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, don't you see? You're living in my world now, I'm a VIP. Call me Daddy, just let it be. While you're trying to figure out your own identity. Oh, I see you're confused, trying to get it right. Spinning your wheels while I'm out of sight. You think you've got it figured, but you got it all wrong. I've been running your mind so long. But sure, keep pretending you don't care. Keep saying you're done, but I'm still in the air. You got no choice but to bow to my name. Daddy Shizzy is here to own the game. You say you don't watch, but you're obsessed. Every word I say puts you to the test. Call me Daddy, Papa Nut, you know you should. Because I've been living rent-free, and you know it feels good. Shizzy Daddy, owning your headspace, and there's no escape. Good luck with that.
Welcome to the shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of fuggery. Cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of the greasy, stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuggery. Welcome, everybody. Welcome. So good to see all of you. Oh my gosh. Yes, Max. It has been a crazy day yesterday and today. Oh my God. We'll see how much I get into tonight because, oh man, the insanity is just everywhere. I mean, I did hear that old Ray's wife passed. Condolences to the family. That's really unfortunate, and feel for old Ray and that's never a good thing to be going through. So, thoughts and prayers out to his family. I'll say that for damn sure. It's and I've seen some pretty spiteful people coming in and saying, "Oh, you don't care about Ray." No, it's his family I'm concerned with, and my personal belief or feelings towards Ray have nothing to do with that. So that's just how it goes. If people can't handle that, then, well, they can just go suck a lollipop for all I care. Max Labs, thank you so much. Crazy day yesterday. I've got you. I got you right here. I got you covered. It has been a crazy week for me. Also, Mo and the Deep End and I have been doing the Brian Koberger stuff, and on Mondays we've been doing the Disturb series. So we've been busy, and then of course we have tomorrow. Tomorrow is always the craziest day because in the morning Mo and I do a stream, usually over on her side. We do a stream in the mornings. We just read all kinds of crazy articles, and then of course Friday we do a pre-stream before we send everybody to go check out the expert over there, because it's always going to be a catastrophe, but in a glorious way, like in a beautiful way. So we enjoy doing this, and that's why we do it. It's something we enjoy. It's not because we have to, we just enjoy it. 36 years ago, you're in a hospital having your son. Congratulations. Well, happy birthday to him. And that's all I got to say. I mean, let the music speak for itself. Happy birthday to your son. Yes. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday to him. Happy birthday, it is his day. Happy birthday to him. Oh yeah. Yeah, most definitely. 4 years ago, you're having your first heart attack. that's pretty good. He said, "Thank you very much." Excellent. It's just a glorious thing, and that's a. I wish I could go back to being in my 30s again. I had such a great time in my 30s. That's why it probably went by so fast. Oh man. Hello, Sherry. How you doing? Good to see you. Texas Jules, Kathy Stewart, Miranda Velasquez, Stacy B, Kippy. Oh my gosh, I don't think I keep all up with all of them. Danielle, Little D. That is one of my favorites right there, Little D. Yeah, she sent me a message that said, "Oh my God, I remember the first stream we did together." And I was just like, "Yeah, that was a while back. We had so much fun." Little D's an absolute sweetheart. Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights. For their greatest sports highlights, check out Daniel Barry's Sports Highlights. Thank you. Kim Boyko, good to see you. Joan Fisher, Kathy Stewart. Oh my God. L. Harvey. I think that's L. Harvey. It could be I. Harvey, but I'll just say Harvey. Tammy Pearson, good to see you. Good to see you. I hope you're doing well. Patty Screen. Oh my gosh, we got a whole full house in here tonight. All 115 of you wonderful people. I hope we got a kick out of that. That's a glorious thing. I mean, I'll tell you, my 30s, I had tons of. I have this fly that's flying around and buzzing me. He is really pissed off. I think because I hit him earlier. He came flying in front of me, and I did some like chop suey stuff. You know, the Karate Kid caught him with some chopsticks. Except I don't have chopsticks. It was just a pair of pans. But it looks like Lynette's wanting back into her bankruptcy lawsuit. She just wants it so bad. So I have these documents, and the reason it's going to look backwards is because that's how it was printed out. It's from the top to the bottom, and so it starts out down here with this message that says, from Justin Hawkins. So this is on the subject of Preston's deficiencies outstanding. Okay, and if we look. It says from Justin, says, "Good afternoon. Please note the following." And you have to understand, this is July 22nd, 2025. Okay, July. Right now, we've already passed through August. We're in September now. Okay, Sherry Nail, we'll get that gifted membership later. And congratulations for whoever got that membership. Congratulations. So it says, "Good afternoon. Please note the following items are still deficient in the above referenced case." And what it says, "Ready to see the next chapter of the fake bankruptcy BS?" Oh, yeah. "Good afternoon. Please note these following items are still deficient." Just like whoever filed this, it says summary of schedules, list of creditors, matrix. Each item should be entered into the docket using the appropriate event. The list of creditors styled as a mailing matrix should be filed using the docket event As you can see, should be filed using document, list of creditors, mailing matrix, verified, restricted use. Please review this case at your earliest convenience and feel free to contact me should you have any questions. And then we get this one here that comes in on July 25th. So written on July 22nd, takes 3 days, and you get a filing back that says please note, why is the rest of it not here? Okay. Okay. On again on the July 25th. So 3 days later wrote, good morning. Please note that additional items are deficient from the case. The following items need to be filed as soon as possible as well. Pay stubs, statement of no employment income, attorney disclosure statement. The case is at risk of dismissal, and these items should be filed at your earliest convenience. Please let me know if there's any questions. Justin contacts again on the 25th. And then it's here it is from Jerome Ramsaran on the 25th, the same day. Says, oh, Ms. Hawkins, thank you for your recent email. Please be advised, my office previously uploaded the creditor matrix using the creditor matrix upload. I have attached the official mailing matrix for your preference. Please advise whether anything further is required in regards to the matrix. As for the remaining mission documents, please be advised I can prepare the documents today. However, I am prevented from filing electronically based on the attached order from the Southern District by Judge Scott Grossman. Notwithstanding, I'm permitted to file in person per the order. Can you please advise us how I may conduct an in-person filing in this case, whether it's possible to obtain a short extension to do so at this time? Alternatively, please advise if the completed docs may be provided to you and subsequently entered by the clerk so the deficiencies may be resolved. Should you have any questions or concerns regarding this matter, please do not hesitate to contact me directly. Well, and there's a few problems with this, and I'll get into that here shortly. Why this is bullshit. And it says, okay. And so what she does, she responds on August 7th, says, good morning, Mr. Ramsaran. I has been heard back from the chief deputy clerk. He advised that we can take your filings via mail, FedEx, UPS, or in person, at least until the FLS matter is resolved. Electronic filing privileges are restored. Our mailing address is in my email signature block below. Note that there is no staff at the Gainesville location, only Tallahassee and Pensacola. A complete list of the deficient items for this case is below. Attorney disclosure, declaring concerning schedules, which would be, I believe, A through J. Employee income records or statement of no employment income, summary of the schedules, and a list of creditors on this matrix. I recognize the list of creditors was uploaded, but it's required that the actual matrix be filed on the dockets, typically included as the last page of the first entry with the voluntary petition. So the petition that was filed is where this is usually placed at. And as a bankruptcy attorney, he knows that this is the case. So that was on August 7th. And that was the last one they had. Now, this is where it gets really interesting, because if I'm not mistaken, let me see if I can pull this particular one up. I don't know if I have it. Let me look. And I was thinking about this as I was sitting here. I was like, oh, I missed something. That happens. Let's see. I believe it's this one right here. Ah, here it is. This is very important. Check this out right here. Okay. Now you have to see this right here. This says, on July 3rd, petition date, debtors filed a voluntary bankruptcy. The clerk has identified deficiencies in the petition, schedules, and other filed documents and or filing fees. Debtors shall cure all below listed deficiencies by July 17th. And here it is September. Okay. Failure to satisfy any deficiency may result in a dismissal of this case without further notice or hearing. Do you see? Failure to satisfy any deficiency may result in dismissal of this case without further notice of hearing. It tells you exactly what it is. A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J. Summary of assets, liabilities, declarations about schedules. Okay. This right here says, Official local forms can be found here. Administratives can be found here. Self-represented parties can be right here. Do you see what it says? Every single thing right here that it's asking for is telling you. It says filings. Filings. All documents for filings with the court shall be signed by the debtor and, if applicable, the debtor's attorney of record. Self-represented debtors shall submit documents for filing with the court. Do you see this? Self-represented debtors shall submit documents for filing with the court by email, fax, U.S. mail, other courier delivery, or hand delivery. Dropbox is available to avoid filing delays. Okay? Shows every single reason why anybody that's not able to file through the electronic system, as you can see, it says right here, July 7th, 2025. And it even gives you mail documents. Here's the address. Every single thing is right there. Every fucking bit of it. But of course, you know, this moron, this legal genius here, it has right here. Well, Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Preston, a.k.a. Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Carotos, or a.k.a. Lynette Michelle Lacey Alexis Cook, a.k.a. Ruby Alexis Cook, whatever name you want to throw in there, or any substandard or subtitle or whatever thing they want to throw in there. This is who we're talking about, with their social security number ending in 2618. There's only one of them. Debtor's motion to reinstate case. Comes now the debtor. Lynette Michelle Alexis Alexi Preston, known as the debtor by and through undersigned counsel, pursuant to the 11 U.S.C. Code, Federal Rules of Bankruptcy Procedure 9024, the Federal Rules of Civil Procedure 60, and respectfully moves this honorable court to vacate its order dismissing the case entered on August 18th, 2025, and reinstate the Chapter 7 proceeding. Well, in support thereof, the debtor states, introductory statement. The debtor filed a voluntary petition for relief under Chapter 7 of the Bankruptcy Code on July 3rd, 2025. And then, out of the blue, on August 18th, 2025, this court entered an order dismissing the case for failure to comply with the notice of deadline to cure deficiencies. Why would they do this? Well, the failure to comply was a result of excusable neglect stemming from counsel's inability to file electronically. No, that does not matter. This right here, if I was a judge looking at this, I would tell you go suck eggs. You had a way to file electronically does not mean jack squat. Nothing. You're an idiot. But that's not the reason why they did it this way. Stemming from counsel's inability to file electronically due to an order preventing electronic filing. Woe is me. And the ensuing confusion regarding the proper method of this submission. Oh, spank me, Judge, spank me. The counsel promptly sought guidance from the clerk's office regarding available filing methods. No, you didn't. That would be inaccurate. That would be a lie. But they could be submitted via mail, FedEx, UPS, or in person, provided a list of outstanding items. Despite counsel's negligent effort and diligent efforts, the delay in submission resulted in dismissal before the debtor had a fair opportunity to cure the deficiencies. You've known about this. What was that date? Oh, you've known about that since the very beginning. Well, there's a legal basis for relief. Well, Section 350B of the Bankruptcy Code permits reopening of a case to accord relief to the debtor or for other cause. Courts have recognized other cause to include reinstatement of cases dismissed for administrative or procedural deficiencies. Yes, if you had administrative or procedural deficiencies, say, for example, the court system is shut down because of the coup or some crap like that, then yeah, maybe they might allow it. No, this is completely different. Bankruptcy Rule 9024 incorporates Federal Rules of Procedure 60B, which authorizes relief from an order on grounds of mistake, inadvertence, surprise, or excusable neglect. Well, if you had any of these, but one, it wasn't a mistake, there was no inadvertence, there definitely wasn't a surprise, and there was no excusable neglect, because you could have gone there at any point in time, because it says right there in the order that those deficiencies were there, and you ignored it. The 11th Circuit applies an equitable test in determining excusable negligence, weighing prejudice, the length of delay, the reason for the delay, and the movement's good faith. Well, look at all of these little things that I threw in here just to show that they do. Well, here the delay was brief. No, it wasn't. Delay was not brief at all, because they wanted you to cure these deficiencies by July. These were supposed to be cured in July, and you didn't do it. You didn't cure the deficiencies in July. Did you cure them in August? I mean, because we just got this filing today, 9/3. Of course, it looks like you probably mailed it out sometime at the very end of the month, because the judge said, sorry, we're closing the case. The trustee said they haven't even attempted to cure these deficiencies, because in a case like this, you would reach out to the attorney and maybe the trustee. Their email address is right there, and say, hey, I'm trying to get these taken care of. I'm just trying to get back with them. No, there was none of that communication. No communication with anybody. No, nothing. Just, well, fuck it. We'll just wait until the last minute. No party will be prejudiced by a reinstatement. Wait a second. 7 weeks. It's been 7 weeks. No party will be affected by it. You know, they had a hearing on this, and and they told you then, I'm pretty sure, that there were still deficiencies and you needed to cure them. Matter of fact, there was a second order that came in and said you need to cure these fucking deficiencies. Did you mention this in that hearing that you had? Did that happen? No, that didn't happen then either. Oh, geez. I wonder why. You know, the one where they rescheduled, you know, they had a status conference, and you're just, you know, him hawing around. I'm pretty sure, I don't know, what do I do? Well, analysis. The debtor acted in good faith. Oh, such good faith. We made timely efforts to comply once informed of the available filing methods. No, you were informed of the filing methods back in July 2nd, something like that. Yeah, in July. You were informed of it in July, of how to cure these deficiencies. You knew how to cure these deficiencies. I mean, you should know this. You're a bankruptcy attorney. You do this all the time. I'm sure that you've had to deal with pro se litigants before. But no, there's nothing good faith in anything she does. Well, this is the attorney trying to play, well, it wasn't my fault. Well, the missed deadline resulted from counsel's inability to utilize the electronic filing system and the uncertainty regarding how and when filings could be submitted by mail or person. How? Well, let's see. It says right there in the order exactly how and exactly when. It tells you right here. Tells you. Right. Look. I mean, I think I'll just keep this up here just so you guys can see this. July 7th, 2025. Matter of fact, I'll even highlight it right here. Look. Let's see. We'll just give that a nice, beautiful highlight right there. Yeah, see, self-represented debtors shall submit documents for filing with the court. Here's how you do it. Here's the mailing address. You can bring your happy ass down there. You can do a courier and make somebody else's happy ass go down there. You can do it by email. You can do it by fax. You can do it by U.S. mail. You didn't do any of that. Well, the courts in the circuit routinely grant relief from dismissal where the failure to comply is attributable to excusable neglect. But there was no excuse. Particularly where reinstatement permits the case to be adjudicated on the merits. Reinstatement will avoid the undue prejudice to the debtor who would otherwise be deprived of access to bankruptcy relief due solely to procedural error. Well, there's some relief requested. The debtor respectfully requests that this court vacate its little order dismissing the case entered on August 18th. Although we didn't even bother reaching out until, much later. Now we waited for another 10 days. Well, it's funny that he did that because, we'll get down here to this stuff right here. This is his excuse. Why? I'm scrolling past the emails. So this right here is a court case where he's in a matter of show cause order against Melody Haynes. Matter of United States trustee motions for show cause order against Jerome Ramsaran. Now, Melody Haynes or whatever, Haynes, used Jerome's little filing system and filed some fraudulent crap and got called out on it for using his credentials to log in. And he admits to, we might hire this little sleaze bucket. Well, the order approving joint stipulation of proposed resolution and discharging order to show cause issued to Jerome Ramsey, Esquire. This proceeding was called for a hearing on Tuesday, July 8th. July 8th. July 8th. Well, self-represented debtor. Oh, July 7th. So the next day after this was issued, he got this coming into him. Hold on, I'll close that because we're done there. This proceeding was called for hearing on July 8th upon the order to show cause why Jerome Ramsaran should not be required to attend legal education and professional responsibility and have his electronic filing privileges suspended. The show cause order, which was entered on June 6, 2025, after consideration of the motion for order requiring Jerome to show cause. Well, Jerome filed by Mary Ida Townsend, the United States trustee for Region 21, the UST, on June 3rd. The show cause order, the court directed Jerome to appear before the court, show cause why he should not be required to take continuing legal education on professional responsibility, have his CM-ECF filing privileges suspended. Well, Ramsaran filed a response to show cause order on June 26. Ramsaran, the United States trustee, the UST, jointly filed a stipulation of proposed resolution to show cause order on July 7th. Oh, joint stipulation. I hope you didn't mail it in. For saying, hey, the court is having considered his response, the joint stipulation of parties' presentation at the hearing adopts a proposed resolution in the joint stipulation in full with certain revisions made on the record at the hearing. Accordingly, it's ordered and a judge, Ramsaran, shall immediately register for the multi-factor authentication on his PACER accounts, which shall use his biometric data stored on a device only he can access. So he has the ability right here, son. You've got the ability. It says you're supposed to do this immediately. Multi-factor authentication on his PACER account, which shall use his biometric data stored on a device that only he can access. So they're telling him in this order that for your PACER account, for you to file anything, you've got to have it registered. And with 7 dates of the day of this order, he shall file notice in the proceeding that states Ramsaran has voluntarily ceased usage of his CMECF file and privileges, and he shall not use those privileges for 30 days. 30 days from the date such notice is filed in this proceeding. 30 days. So you would think that a normal human being would say, well, I've got cases. How am I supposed to file that? They would have said, you can mail it, you can fax it, you can text it, you can scramble down your happy ass down there and file it. But oh, no, 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 no. Well, Ramsaran is authorized to file court documents in person with the clerk of court during the voluntary suspension. Holy shit. Look at that. It tells you right here in the order. Do you see that? Well, amazing how that fucking works out. It tells you exactly how he's authorized to file. So he knows that he can go down there, bring his happy ass in person, and file everything within those 30 days. On or before the conclusion of the voluntary suspension period, he shall obtain at least 10 credit hours of continuing legal education, at which a minimum of 3 hours shall be for professional responsibility. A minimum of 3 credit hours shall be for his technology. For a minimum of 4 credit hours shall be for bankruptcy-related courses. Now, within 15 days after the conclusion of this, he shall file a declaration attesting to Ramsaran's compliance with paragraphs 1 and 4 of this order. So he didn't follow 1 through 4, because if you see number 3 right here, he's authorized to file court documents. He didn't do that. Ramsaran shall include any documentation necessary to demonstrate compliance as attachments to this declaration. Well, I'm wondering, Mr. Ramsaran, I wonder if somebody sends this off to the court and says, hey, he's not following the rules of professional conduct as dictated by this court order. I wonder what the court would have to say about it. Because within 15 days after that, the UST may file an objection to the declaration. If such an objection is filed, the party shall obtain a hearing date to resolve the objection by the court. Well, I wonder what the court's going to feel about this one. Well, if Ramsaran fails to file the declaration within 15 days after the conclusion of the voluntary suspension period, well, he shall be enjoined from ever using his CMF filing privileges until the injunction is dissolved after a hearing on untimely declaration filed by Ramsaran, provided that Ramsaran shall be permitted to file an untimely declaration without violating his prohibitory injunction. And so they discharged the show cause order, which means they just basically ended it. And there's nothing else to see under here. It's just a bunch of people that were attached to it. And then we have this one here. So he bailed this out on August 27th. And you have to remember, this one here, he knew about this back in July. Yeah, right here. Knew about this crap in July. No, I'm sorry. This was entered on June 6th. The hearing was taking place in July. As you can see, show cause order on July 7th. Same date that this right here was coming in. Says July 7th, self-represented debtors shall submit documents for filing. Tells you where the address is. You can just bring your happy ass down there. And I'm sure he knows that address by heart, because that's how attorneys operate. They know this address by heart, so they can look at it and see that it goes there. Well, Justin says, the case administrator says, well, Mr. Hawkins, pursuant to your email correspondence advising the filings of this matter may be submitted by mail, FedEx, UPS, or in person, while electronic filing privileges remain restricted, please find enclosed for filing the motion to reinstate in the above referenced case. We respectfully request that the enclosed motion be docketed at the court's earliest convenience. Kindly notify us if any additional action is required to ensure proper processing. Should you have any questions, don't hesitate to contact my office. And thank you for your insistence. Thank you. Jerome, So a month later, he's finally getting around to taking care of this. To me, it sounds like a big stalling technique. Let me see if we got any fine people that came in here. Taz, thank you so much. Says, ready to see the next chapter in the fake bankruptcy BS. Well, we all are. We all are waiting to see that right there. And Sherry Nails says, gifted that membership. Thank you so much. Let me get some stars for you both.
Welcome to the shit show.
Every single day. A new flavor of buggery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of twats. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppypox, bollocks, and fuckery, and all over again. Oh, thank you, you too. I appreciate you so much. Wonderful days, wonderful days. Yeah, this is some crazy crap. It is the most amazing shit that I have seen, and I saw this. I'm just like, you've got to be kidding me. That after all these delays, they're finally going to do it. You got a feeling the court will deny it and tell them no refiling, the case is over. I mean, there's a possibility, that this judge could sanction him. I mean, that's a very big possibility, Max. I wouldn't be surprised that if the judge doesn't sanction him for, being a screw up. But I can say that, from what was it? I think Jeremy said this on a short that he wants the bankruptcy to go on, because all it does is help their case. Like from what he was saying, I was like, oh God, I hope this continues on. This would be great. I hope she files a response. I hope they accept it back in there, because that means we get into all of the financials and all of the stuff that we've been asking for in Discovery, and that they haven't been able to get. They haven't been able to get a lot of this stuff from Discovery. I mean, there's been more information provided in her bankruptcy case than there ever was in Discovery. I mean, she's just burying herself a hole. That's all there is to it. She's just digging in on this, and it's just like, why not? Give me that bankruptcy all day. That's an easy thing. We can get some of the other issues resolved with others. People. Southern Red Sox girl. Oh, how you doing? Good to see you. Oh, I don't give a duck. It's so good to see you. It's been a while. That's true. I know. I mean, that's something he was just like, oh God, I hope he gets back in. But the possibility that's why he did what he did is because he knew that it would get thrown out, and it's just a longer delay. I don't know, all the rest of the cases are moving until what is it? September, October. I think the judge wants more information on that. So I don't suspect Randy's probably going to file anything. If he does, he'll file it in the bankruptcy case, or the other attorney, because I believe Randy's involved in that bankruptcy as a debtor or creditor. Yeah, as a creditor, and she named Randy as a creditor, and also he's like representing Jeremy, but Jeremy has a totally different attorney for that. So when did the 30 days up? Just got up here. So the 30 days were up in July. Yeah, the 30 days were up in July. Yeah, right here. It says that it was July 17th. They had to cure the deficiencies by July 17th, 2025. So they never did. And they had a hearing. Was it July 3rd, I think, something like that? Or was it August 3rd? Anyhow, they had like a creditors meeting, and like none of this has been taken care of. None of it. Yeah, none of this has been taken care of. All of this right here, this is the core of all of this right here is the core of her complaint. Right here. Let me add that in there. This is the core of her complaint. So this right here, she didn't have this schedule A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, J, summary of assets and liabilities, declaration about schedules. None of this was filed. And they kept asking for it, just like you've got to file this stuff. And none of it was added in there. She filed this today. No, the attorney filed this today. She posted she is asking for a loan to buy a camper kit. What items she's selling over the weekend at a flea market. Yeah, yes, she does. Okay. She still the thing is he could have taken his happy ass down to the court and filed it. And he knew that right off the bat. Every single bit of it right here. Self-represented debtors. We can go back to the actual case itself right here. Oh, that's a different one right there. Well, we'll get to that one later. That one's my open letter to this shit. It's hilarious. You're gonna love it. But yeah, she's got so much. All the paperwork is available online for Lynette's Pax dalliances with the courts. Yeah, I know. If you didn't check out Rosalind's Rosalind, yeah, she's not Rosalind. I want to say the name wrong because I want to say, yeah, Rosalind. Yeah, Duke. Yeah, the Duke. Got it. My brain is fried. It's been a long day. Rosalind Duke, yes, earlier today was talking about her past cases, LPs filed in other states. Thank you very much. You are absolutely right. Rosalind Duke did say that. Tammy, LP so far did not list enough to even get a bankruptcy, really. No, because it's not just about the filing, it's about including all of these schedules in there. None of those were done. All these, now I've never been in a bankruptcy, so I don't know what these are. I mean, I can show you what the court is saying that they're asking for, and all of this should have been entered in there. And this, as a bankruptcy attorney, should know all of this. I would hope that the bankruptcy attorney knows all of this. Half the money, she owes money to a related to court system somehow. Well, and that's the thing, is if there's certain parts of litigation are not included in this, like the litigation can still go on. I mean, that's where, they put it on stay. It's no big skin off of their ass. Just like, okay, well, we'll put that on delay, and that gives me more time to work on all the other stuff. Because whenever it comes back around, she's gonna have to show she was being asked to disclose everything, and she wasn't disclosing anything. So this is one way of getting it. Maybe not with the 5 gifted memberships, and we got the Tug Raiders coming in. Welcome
to the shit show.
every single day. A new flavor of thuggery, 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and then 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, balderdash, poppycock, bollocks, and thuggery. Living all over again. Ooh, that'll be awesome. Thank you very much. What I'm thinking is his 30-day sentence is up. So why is he still hand filing? And did he pay the court filing fees that he had to pay? Who knows? I mean, there's a possibility he didn't do what he was supposed to do. No, I mean, I don't know what's going on with that case. I'm sure that if I did a search on it, I could pull up the case and find out exactly what's going on. It doesn't matter to me. It's not my goat party. I'm not having anything to do with it. She wants a loan to get an RV. Well, that figures. I mean, why not? She's got to find a way to get out of town. Your bankruptcy cost $1,200 when it was time for court. We had to go up to the witness box to explain why. Damn near threw up on my lawyer. Yeah. It's not something that I would wish on anybody. That's because, it's sort of saying I can't do what I wanted to do. You've gotten in over your head. Luckily, I've never had to do that. Thankfully, I've never had to do that, but we're all one step away from having something horrendous happen that could cost us tons of money, and next thing you know, you're filing bankruptcy. Lou Wink, how you doing? Hello, good to see you, Susie. And it's so nice to see all your names back up here like they used to be. This is a wonderful thing. I do have a letter coming for you guys. Oh, yes. And then we've got another piece that we're going to be covering because I find it interesting, and I have a letter for that one. So just bear with me because it's going to get crazy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Welcome to the shit show.
Every single day. Excusable neglect. My ass, the Lynette, Ramsaran, and Bubbles disaster. What you idiots filed isn't a motion to reinstate, it's an embarrassment, a soggy cocktail napkin of excuses dragged into Judge Specie's courtroom like it was a crown jewel. If a real motion is filet mignon, yours is gas station sushi left under a heat lamp, stinking, slippery, guaranteed to poison anyone who touches it. Well, let's start with the obvious. This case was dead. Lynette, you were told what to do. File your schedules, sign your declaration, pay the fees. You had 2 weeks. You blew it like everything else you touch. The case was dismissed. It was done. Finished. But instead of moving on, you and Ramsaran cooked up this excusable neglect fantasy. The idea that Judge Specie isn't going to forget her own order and let you crawl back because your lawyer was too busy waving his disciplinary record around like a trophy. Ramsaran, your grand defense is, I couldn't file. Well, cry me a fucking river. The court gave you every option. Fax, mail, Dropbox, walk it in by hand. Hell, tie it to a drunk raccoon and shove it towards Tallahassee. At least then you'd be trying. No, you didn't do nothing. You did absolutely nothing. And then instead of filing the missing schedules, you started an email chain with the clerk, begging for advice like a lost law student who can't find the copy machine. You put it in writing, proof that you knew the options, proof that you still didn't act, and then you stapled that pathetic email chain to your motion like it was Exhibit A. Well, that doesn't prove diligence. That just proves you're a bad lawyer. Let's not forget what's tucked in with all those excuses. Your Southern District suspension order. Really? That's your play? Sorry, Judge, I couldn't follow your order because here's proof another judge already caught me screwing up. Well, that's not advocacy. You've just officially graduated from lawyer to liability, and the fact that you thought that that would help your client tells us everything about how bad at this job you really are. Lynette, don't think you're sliding past here. This isn't about excusable neglect. We all know this is about delay. You've been running the clock from the start. You knew your case was screwed sideways. You knew dismissal was coming. Instead of complying, you've been dragging this out to keep the stay in place for as long as possible. Every day you delay is just another day you get to scream bankruptcy at your enemies on YouTube and try to weaponize the system. Hell, you didn't file schedules because you didn't want the truth on paper. You don't want the judge or your creditor seeing what's really there because you notice Ramaswamy didn't file those schedules yet again. Well, this motion wasn't filed to fix anything. Hell, it was filed to stall. Oh, look, the creditors list. Hales, Cook, George, Shochet, Granger. Well, it doesn't look like debts. It really reads like your enemies list, a burn book stuffed into the federal docket. Shit, this isn't a bankruptcy petition. It's a hit list. You weaponized it like it was your own personal vendetta checklist. And ram or swam ram, the fact that you put your name on it tells me that you either didn't read it, didn't care, or you're just really bad at lawyering. It reminds me of that incompetent fool Bubbles, the same delay at all cost nonsense, the same legal tomfoolery. Ram or swam ram, did you have enough stupidity to invent this on your own? No, because really this reeks of a legally inept moron whispering in the background, feeding you a whole bunch of garbage arguments and watching you march them straight into Judge Special's courtroom. Well, congratulations if this is the case, because you made yourself a Muppet and Bubbles has his hand deep up your ass. So now we're left with a dead case being dragged back onto the docket with more excuses, email change, shit, disciplinary orders, hell, and a hit list of personal enemies. You really think Judge Specky's going to clap her hands and say, oh, yes, let's pretend that none of this ever happened? No. What's more likely, she asks the question out loud, why shouldn't sanctions be on the table? Because, hell, let's be honest, if this isn't sanctionable, what is? You wasted the court's time, you ignored orders, you filed junk, you filed your own failures as exhibits, and then you had the audacity to say, well, no one's prejudiced. Prejudice, the only one not prejudiced here is you. Everyone else, your creditors, the court, the system itself has been dragged through your stalling circus. Hell, Lynette, you're treating bankruptcy like the rest of your miserable life. All drama, no substance. And Ramsaran, you're treating the federal court like a place to store your disciplinary paperwork. No, so let's try this for a change, Lynette. Stop pretending this is about debt relief. Ramsaran, stop pretending you're a competent lawyer and this isn't law. Shit, this isn't relief. This is excusable neglect. It's neglect, plain, simple, weaponized for delay. And if there is any justice, Judge Special isn't going to reinstate a damn thing. She's going to reinstate her patience for sanctions and bury your ass under it. Respectfully yours, but not really. Shizzywhiznut, the Velcro shoe wearing, short bus riding, legal badger of doom, and most definitely, yo daddy.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Tell you, these fools. I trying to catch up by reading chat, so we hope Judge Special will deny this latest filing to reinstate this filing. Don't know. It doesn't matter to me. I'm just reading the court documents. What I see, that's it. Dun, dun, dun. So they can do whatever they want to. I mean, in all honesty, they can do whatever they want to. Jeremy said he wants it. He would love to finish this stuff out in bankruptcy, because it just brings in all of the crazy shit that they've been up to. It brings every single bit of it in, and hell, Randy really doesn't have to do much of anything on it. It just means that he's got more time to focus on all the other cases that are happening at the same time. Thank you, Colleen. I appreciate that. But I have something that came in, and this is really good. I hope you guys like this. Okay. So back, what was it? A week ago, maybe 2 weeks ago. You remember that there was this little case that was happening with Federico's. And let me take you back. The judge said this was such an egregious case. He's never seen a worse shotgun pleading in his life, and all sanctions will be presented. And he asked all of the court to say, hey, we want to see sanctions, and this is what our attorney's fees are, because he gave us the absolute runaround. He said, no, 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 no. I'm not giving you the runaround. And while we're at it, I've filed for an appeal. I said, you know what? This case is under appeal. You can't do anything. It's under appeal, Judge. Oh, and by the way, I make a motion to have those removed. Oh, no, no, no. This is not Lips bankruptcy. This is a Victor Lambeau, an estate. And it went up against another attorney, Twala Sketchley, and 23 other attorneys. 23 other defendants were named in this lawsuit. The judge said this is such an egregious amount of bullshit. It is one of the worst cases that I've ever seen in anything, ever. And all his time as a judge, he was so frustrated with this crap that he wrote, and let me see if I've got it here. He wrote a 50-page order. Okay. Do you remember this? This was back just a little while ago. This wasn't too long that I covered this right here. Because, and you have to understand that this is the case that happened. And the order was dismissing the third amended complaint. This case is before the court on motions to dismiss. The third amended complaint is an impenetrable mess, as egregious a shotgun pleading as ever hit the docket. This order dismisses the actions on the basis and notes, alternatively, that the complaint fails to state a federal claim on which relief can be granted. Dismissal would be appropriate on that basis too. Okay, so this particular judge said shotgun pleading. He says we don't have this. And you have to understand, resolving cases on merits with each side taking its hold has been my goal through the years. With sound case management, issues can almost be framed adequately, if not with precision, and cases can go forward. I have denied dozens of motions asserting complaints were shotgun pleadings, and I have granted leave to amend, which he did, in dozens of other cases so that shotgun pleading deficiencies could be cured. Okay. Amend and ultimately resolve the case on the merits. Rare is the case in which a plaintiff obdurately refuses to clean up a shotgun pleading. This is a rare case. There might have never been a more egregious shotgun pleading than the original complaint and the 3 amended versions tendered in this case. The order granting leave to file this case in the last of the 3, the 3rd amended complaint, now before the court, warned plaintiffs of the circuit shotgun pleading prohibition and provided citations to several circuit decisions setting out the governing standards. The order noted that the primary reason for the prohibition is the need to make clear which allegations of a complaint apply to which defendants and which counts. Any third amended complaint must be short, plain, and must conform with the law of the circuit on shotgun pleadings. Right here. That's what he told him. He told Federigos, stop with the shotgun pleadings. In a response to that order, the plaintiffs filed the 3rd amended complaint for convenience. This order often refers to it simply as the complaint. It is not short or plain and does not conform with the law of the circuit on shotgun pleadings. Quite the contrary. It is as bad as the prior versions, or nearly so. It is an impenetrable mess. It spans 135 pages, includes 453 numbered paragraphs, not counting subparagraphs and unnumbered text. It cites documents and exhibits that were not included with the filing, and defendants say we're not served on them in response to motions to dismiss, basically partly on the absence of allegations of fact. The plaintiffs say they provided voluminous, tangible, factual, detailed support for their claims at an unspecified location within 1,139 pages of material filed previously. Some of the material could perhaps be considered on a motion to dismiss. Much of it could not. More importantly, at this point, the plaintiffs cannot cure the complaint's shotgun pleading violation by suggesting the court and the defendants plow like a bunch of drunk sailors through the voluminous extraneous material in search of facts not properly included in the complaint itself. The mass of unorganized bullshit not tied to any specific defendant or account compounds. It does not cure the shotgun pleading problem. And it goes on like this for 50 pages. The judge lambasting him. If you don't believe me, just go back to one of my earlier streams where I talk about this whole thing. Because the claims that it has 12 counts, it is not clear which counts are asserted against which defendants. Most counts incorporate every preceding paragraph, including those in preceding counts. Other counts incorporate specific paragraphs. It's not clear at times which plaintiffs assert what freaking claims. And a bullet point list of the claims is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 6, 7, and it tells you defamation per se, not clear who brought by Geraldine, Denisha, and Vicky against Miss Sketchley personally as an agent of Sketchley Law Incorporates. 1 through 46, 88 through 27. It's random because 88 and 127 are plainly included in 1 through 146. And then by Geraldine, Denisha. I mean, this was all of the deficiencies in it and all 12 counts. And we're not through because it comes down here. The complaint is not going to be dismissed as a shotgun. If the complaint was not going to be dismissed as a shotgun pleading, it would be appropriate to take steps to identify and exercise any claim covered by the probate exception to federal jurisdiction. And it goes down through all of the counts, and it lists every single thing. Every single one of these. Reading all that boring paperwork. Oh no, this is part of what you get paid to do. You're reading the paperwork and you're creating a response to it. It's not as hard as you think. But we continue on because, like I said, all of what you're reading, this is a lot of the boring stuff that you don't have. Okay. This is why I'm skipping over it. Give me a second. Well, let me get down just towards the end here where he says exactly what happens. I'm getting there. Just bear with me. State law claims, conclusion. Here we go. This is the main thing, the conclusion. The third amended complaint is as an egregious shotgun pleading. The plaintiffs filed the pleading in that form despite a clear warning of the governing standards and the requirements to comply with them. A possible explanation is that the plaintiffs simply do not have a factual basis for their claims and thus must set them out in general, conclusory language without clear organization, the better to mask the lack of factual basis for the claims. Whatever the explanation, the plaintiffs cannot proceed in this manner. The plaintiffs could be given leave to try again, but as a matter of discretion, I choose not to do that. It seems clear that some of these defendants should not have been sued at all. It also seems likely that affording the plaintiffs another opportunity to amend would increase the cost of litigation and otherwise accomplish not a damn thing. Had the plaintiffs been able to allege actual facts showing a RICO violation or other basis for recovery, they should have alleged the facts in the third amended complaint. They had fair warning. It is ordered the motion to dismiss 36, 41, 52, 54, 55, 56, 62, 68, 70, and 71 are granted based on those motions and the court's own motion. The third amended complaint is dismissed with prejudice as a shotgun pleading. If not for the dismissal with prejudice on that basis, count 1 would be dismissed with prejudice for failure to state a claim on which relief can be granted. And the remaining claims would be dismissed based on the discretion not to exercise supplemental jurisdiction over them. The clerk must enter a judgment and close the file. It is so ordered June 24th by Robert L. Hinkle. And if you don't know who Robert L. Hinkle is, he is the chief judge. He is Bolito's boss. Okay, this is the highest guy in this in that courtroom. This is his boss. Now, along with that, yeah, this is Chips. This is Chips. So, along with all of this garbage that he did, he basically got a hold on that court case. Okay. Oh, well, it gets better, Lil B. It gets better. So what he did is he filed a motion basically saying that, don't sanction me, judge, because this has gone off to appeals. That's what his thing was. Oh, this has been sent off to an appeal. We're appealing this decision so that you need to stop. Well, guess what happened today? Right here in the Clerk of the Northern District of Florida, appeal number 2512498EE, style case of the estate of Victor Lambau, Twally Sketchily et al. The enclosed copy of the clerk's order of dismissal as to the estate of Victor Lambau and Vicky Lambau for failure to prosecute in the above referenced appeal is issued as the mandate of this court. Pursuant to this, when an appellant fails to timely file or correct a brief or appendix, the appeal shall be treated as dismissed on the first business day following the due date. This appeal as to estate of Victor Lambau and Vicky Lambau was treated as dismissed on 9/3/2025. 11th Circuit rules governs motions to set aside dismissal and remedy the defeat. Such motions must be filed within 14 days of the date of the clerk issues the order of dismissal, except as otherwise provided by FRAP 25A for inmate filings. A motion to set aside dismissal remedy the default is not timely unless the clerk receives the motion within the time fixed for filing. So there's 14 more days for them to cure all of this. And if they don't, the court's already been notified of it. As you can see right here, this came from the bankruptcy court right here, USC. That's the bankruptcy court number. And this number right up here above it, that is the one that was filed in court today. You have to Justin for a report. You stay safe too, Elizabeth. You be good. Wouldn't you like to know? Don't sanction me, judge. I'm under intelligent and I'm ADA protected. Well, this is Federico's, the husband. Okay. So yeah, you should see idiocy all over the place. Not just one place. Oh no, it's all over the damn place. Now, that being said, as you can see, this stuff is going to be coming back into play. And I reiterate the kind of things that these fools continued to do. And it's like this. Another attorney sanctioned for allegedly hallucinating case law. If you don't know what this means, let me explain. Now, this was on 7/10 of 2025 that this was written. A Florida judge on Wednesday issued a blistering order against an attorney who became the latest to face sanctions over filing with case law suspected of being hallucinated by generative artificial intelligence or something similar to ChatGPT. They made it could be Google. It could be any number of things. This is why Google lawyers make bad attorneys. It has ordered him to take AI ethics course and repay opposing counsel's fees. Now, this circuit court judge, J. Lane Smith in Wakulla County Circuit, issued an order against Michael Federigos, who is representing an interested party in a guardianship matter after finding four apparently non-existent cases in 2 of the pleadings he filed in May. According to the order, Federigos initially claimed he'd filed the wrong motion, would refile that day, but he didn't, and later blamed it a typographical error. We've heard about these typographical errors from somebody else where they've used the wrong digit for an email. Remember? They actually bragged about it in one of their other cases. Attorney Federigos made no effort to correct these grievous errors or mitigate the damages to the ward, the parties, the court, or even his own client. Judge Smith wrote, instead, he took a puzzling, contemptuous, and combative tone in his false statements of law and fact, gaslighting this court and his fellow litigants. He further attempts to shirk his responsibility to properly supervise and review the people. I wonder what people they're talking about, or the technology. I wonder what technology they're talking about. He uses to prepare his pleadings by blaming, without explanation, some unidentified editing program. Federigos, however, denies the allegations, telling Law 360 Pulse in an email on Thursday that he plans to move for a rehearing on the matter. Any attorney who fights against the attorney stealing people's estates gets targeted, he said. It happened to my wife who freed 13 people from wrongful guardianships, and now it's happening to me. Shizzy, would you send Tug and Megan these documents, please? They should see. Oh no, I've already handled that. That's already been taken care of. Trust me, that's already been taken care of. Long time ago. Emma Washington with the Tug raid. Thank you so much. Need to shove the disease walrus out of the way. Gildos are needed. Driving the dozer. Emma Washington with the Tug raid. Thank you so much. We welcome you. Oh, the hero of the show has shown back up. Let me tell you. We got you, Washington. Let me get you right there. Well, we'll get you set up with a nice, glorious star. Love stars. Let's see. I gotta find. I am almost filled up here. I'm gonna have to start a new helmet. Tug raid. My gosh, good to see you. Thank you, Emma Washington. Maybe that's what I will do for my anniversary on YouTube. I think how does that sound to you guys? For my anniversary on YouTube, I take this one and I send it off to somebody very special. Send this thing off, this glorious shiny beacon of hope, of all the love that you guys have sent. I send that off to somebody. Send that thing off and see what it can auction off for. I would even sign the thing. It's got expert sticker on it. It's got all kinds of stuff like that. What do you think? Retire this one and start a whole fresh new one? It looks so good. I know. And then for the new fresh one, start out with like one awesome sticker, like for like a really high super chat or something like that, or like a range before it actually put the first sticker on it. That would be interesting. We'll have to see. I'll have to sign it. Well, and that's the thing. It sounds like a great plan. I know, that's what I was thinking. It was just like sign it, auction it off, and see what we could do about helping out some people in need. That would be very interesting. That would be very interesting. It is one of a kind. That it is. That it is. The level of stickers that I have on there is amazing. It is amazing. Federigos, however, denies these allegations, telling Law 360 Pulse in an email on Thursday he's pissed off. Well, and on May 30th, he filed a notice of case law that Judge Smith says included a Westlaw list of 20 possible case sites for one of the 4 allegedly fake cases in his pleadings, proving that no such case existed. He followed up earlier this month with another filing, which is not visible to the public, of course, because it's a guardianship case, and a draft of the rehearing motion shared with Law 360. Federigos claims his filings verify that all cases exist. Federigos has been accused by this court of providing false cases, yet this court has been providing all cases straight from Westlaw, he wrote. Parties are scheduled to reconvene on July 16th. Other attorneys in recent years have been hit with a $5,000 fine. Some of them go from $2,000 to $15,000. And this was a guardianship case of A. Allen, which is a guardianship case. So we don't know anything about what actually happened in this. Have no idea what happened in this case because, like I said, it's a guardianship case and we don't need to know what happened in this case. I would like to see what exactly happened to Federigos in this case and what the judge concluded. And, you know, was he ever handled on this? Jeremy has his auctioneer's license. Isn't that wild, isn't it? He does. Definitely sign it. Oh, no more crickets. No more crickets. I'm Inspire. No, I won't do any more crickets. Also, I've started interacting a little bit more over on the Facebook page. I've had an account over there, but I think I had it closed. I don't know because I never did Facebook. It wasn't something that I was into. I think maybe I had an account at one point in time, a long time ago. And that was like after MySpace, which I think I had a MySpace account. I don't remember. I think there was music on mainly on that one or something. I don't know. So yeah, you can still find me on the Facebook. You can find me on the Twitter. You can find me on Twitter, X, whatever. You can find me on Rumble. You can find me here, you know, and your support means so much to me. It really does. It makes it all worth doing it. Just having all of you fine people here hanging out and showing me some love. Send it to Jeremy for legal fees. That could be interesting, couldn't it? It could be very interesting. Next one, you should weigh it before and after. I bet there's at least 2 pounds of stickers on there. Maybe. I don't think it's 2 pounds. Probably it's pretty light. It is actually pretty light. Now, if you hadn't seen it, this thing has been worn by not only me. Okay, so Roseman's Ranch. If you've never heard of Roseman's Ranch, absolute sweetheart. Roseman's Ranch, she wore this, her husband wore this, Rosalind Duke has wore this. I'm trying to think. I don't think the expert wore it. I don't think he wore it. He might have. But yeah, we had a whole bunch of people wear this at Dollywood for that. Next helmet needs be roomier and not to hurt your noggin. Yeah, I'll have to. This one I ordered it off of Amazon, and I didn't have any clue, but it was, if you know the story behind it, then you would understand why I got this particular one. But what I need to do is go to like an actual place and find one that fits a little more comfortable. So yeah. If I decide to do the helmet, if I decide to keep on doing it. George is going to school to be an auctioneer also. That is awesome. I love that. Okay. So, as I said, we had all of that information that I wanted you guys to see and sort of understand what was going on. Let me close that and let me close that, because we had this that came in over the past couple of days. Crazy, huh? And we're going to do a nice bike shop fitting. Well, see, and that's the thing, because they'll want to put something that has a bunch of air holes in it, but I need less air holes. that's what I need. Something that has very little air holes on it. Who is George? Yeah, who is George? How you doing, La La Land? Good to see you. Sure, Quebec was shared this week. All right, here we go. Because this one, I may just have to do a little break right before that. Let me think about this for a second. Yeah, let me think about this one just for a second. Yeah, I think I'll do just a little break so I can get a beverage, because this part of it is going to take just a little bit of time, because I want to make sure that I do this right and I do it well for all of you fine people. And in the process of that, I will show you that I do have a new album out. And I'm gonna show you guys that I actually have 2 new albums out. If you haven't seen them, I'm gonna show what it looks like here. Let me end that right there and present, and I'll show you what exactly it looks like. And this right here is what the new album looks like. You'll see this. This is the newest album. And I'm going to take a little break. I will be right back. Barn burner. Oh, yeah. Yeah. But enjoy the first song on this. And I have videos, and those videos will be released also. You can also find this on my channel, see? So check it out. Let's go.
But here I am. Yeah. The martyr in the middle. Everything I did was for them. Everything I said was to protect. But they still come at me like I'm the suspect. I put myself on the line, took the heat, took the blame, and still they drag my name through the flame. They don't see the cost, they just see the shows. But I'm the one bleeding while the money rolls. I kept my mouth shut when I could've let go, but they take that silence like I don't know. Martyr in the middle, I pay the price. Martyr in the middle, I roll the dice. Martyr in the middle, I stand alone. Hell, I won't give up my throne. I'm gonna get rich from this, gonna get the fame. I just got the scars and the weight of the name. You think I enjoy being the target? You think I like how far they've gone to market? I carry the dirt so they can look clean, but they still push me out of the scene. I could tell you stories that would burn the place, but I keep them locked down just in case. Martyr in the middle, I pay the price. Martyr in the middle, I roll the dice. Martyr in the middle, I stand alone. Hell, I won't give up my throne. You don't know the weight until you wear it. You don't know the fight until you bear it. I've been holding the line when they all tank. That's why I'm still here, still making bank. Martyr in the middle, written in pain. Every sacrifice carved in my name. And if I go down, it won't be in vain. How I make money is part of the game. Yeah. Everybody.
Oh yeah, I've got a whole album, and that's not the only one I've got. Let me show you.
I didn't ask for this,
So what I've got
but here I am.
is a bunch of these. I also have another one called Kicking Puppies. This is the earlier one right here. And it has stuff like Exhibit A, Me Being Right Again, We Filed a Motion to Cry, Ghost Written by Goldfish, which was the intro song that you had. I also have Oops, All Wrong Arguments, Permanent Retirement, Permanent Relevance. All of these right here can be found like this one, Go Fund My Ego. You see? See? Not bad.
I was down and out, just me and pride. Had a lawsuit pending and a wounded side. No facts, no funds, no legal plan. But I had a phone and a payment scan. I said, friends, the system's done me wrong. So I built a page and sang my song. Said, click that link and share my pain. And I've been preaching ever since it's in vain. Pass that plate, don't ask too much. Just believe and bless the clutch.
Yeah, good to see you. Good to see you.
I'll pray it loud while the cash rolls in.
That's right.
I ain't asking for pity, just your rent, so I can fight these demons the court just sent. I promise prayers and legal life if you just pledge before midnight.
Like a little
and
Otis
if I
Redding,
don't
yeah.
win, it's all a test, but the Lord loves folks who click invest. So give what you can and maybe
yes.
more, 'cause redemption ain't cheap in the Civil War.
Go for my ego.
Not for bills, but
Go
for my brand.
ego.
Saints of PayPal, take my hand. Mercy wears a t-shirt now, and grace comes printed with a cash out file. They say faith moves.
See, I've got music like that. All you have to do is pay attention. You will see I've got all kinds of stuff in there. The title track is called Kicking Puppies. Now that one is it's almost towards the last. I also have Do You Know Jack Shit? And you've heard the song, you've seen the video, you love it. Well, thank you, Linda Alvin. I love you. Thank you. I appreciate it. This is wonderful. You guys are awesome. And Linda, these all are available on my channel. They're all here. Every single one of them are here. I've got so much music on here. I think this is album number 7 just in the past year. Is that right? Yeah, and I've got another one. It's called Stars and Bars. You can't handle many openings. You can't handle many openings. Oh my gosh! Thank you so much, Inspire. No, this is what I do on my spare time. Is I put together music. I find things that really interest me, and I try to make them good. And you know, it's definitely, some of these are easy to listen to, and some of them are rough. If you listen to some of the older ones that I've got, like, so I've got that one, and then if you look, I've also got, and I'm showing you right here, I've got greenbacks and grift tracks. That's another one, and I'm sure you've seen a lot of those. I think I've got a few videos off of that. I got one for the ladies. I got songs from the chat, and the chat helped me write all of those songs. Talk about your helmet. I've got Beats to Heat the Summer, which was really, really good. That was a fun one to do. And then I've also got a little rockabilly blues. I've got some Caribbean magic, which is just like some Caribbean tunes. Sound of Waves is just straight up sound, no anything. I've got some stuff from Sarah Boone, Locked in a Suitcase, Rise for America, which is a 4th of July celebration, and the very first one, which is Redhead Redemption. That one was done by about Just Dawn. Yeah, that one was very, very special. That was very special. That Just Dawn is Libby's wife. And if you ever run into Libby in chat, you know who I'm talking about. Your toe hurts. Well, if you take your toe out of your mouth and stop chewing on it, it wouldn't hurt, J-Hip. I keep telling you this stuff. You never listen, though. You never listen. So, yes, I have multiple albums there. Barn Burner is the latest one that came out. Kicking Puppies and Barn Burner, if you haven't heard them, listen to them. Like you will find something on Kicking Puppies that just will speak to you. Now, Greenbacks and Grift Tracks, I have some pretty dark songs on there, but on Greenbacks and Grift Tracks, you'll find like some of these that I have down here, which are under videos, like popular videos, PR Spin, Money's Running Thin. That one right there is on Greenbacks and Grift Tracks. So if you're ever looking for some music just to listen to, you can pull these up and you can put them in a playlist and listen to them. Need a tow truck? It's good. 309. Good to see you. Good to see you. Oh my gosh. It is wonderful. Did you kick too many puppies? Just your hip? No, actually it is about it is about, the album came to me sort of, with the way that you see this ecosystem acting, that it's like they're kicking puppies. The way that they act is so cruel and so vicious that I compare it to them kicking puppies. That's where it came from. Yamaha Biker chews his toenails. He said, "Oh, I'm sure he does." I've caught him a few times doing it, and I have to tell him to stop on a regular basis. Like, dude, stop chewing on your toenails. Your big tail sucks right now. No, you've got that wrong, J-Hip. You're sucking on your big toe. You're sucking on your big toe. So was in his mouth. He's got stuck in the ecosystem's ass. Well, that might be true too. This mouth, ecosystem's ass. I mean, mouth. Now you just painted a picture I don't want to imagine. No, I don't want to see it. I don't want to see it. So bad. So bad. You guys don't kick puppies. I'm marrying Miyagi. I made that album before then. The funny part is I've known Miyagi for a long time. It's pretty cool. I've known Miyagi for a long time. Right after he poops on Shizzy's porch. Yes. Well, that's my toe in his ass. It's completely different. All right. Enough playing around. Let's get into this right here. So this particular document was filed day before yesterday. I think that's right. Let me see. That was filed 9/2, came in 9/3. So this was yesterday. And I actually wanted to read through this and see what was going on. I heard that Yamaha throws poop only whenever he's mad at me. Only when he's mad at me, he throws poop. Defendant's motion to dismiss plaintiff's amended complaint comes now. Defendant Leslie Fradrigos by and through her undersigned counsel and defendant Michael Fradrigos, Esquire, representing himself, bringing forth their motion to dismiss plaintiff amended complaints as follows. Defendants Leslie Fradrigos and Michael Fradrigos respectfully submit this motion to dismiss in response to the amended complaint filed by plaintiff here, Jeremy Hales, Elephant Shoe, blah, blah, George, Megan Fox, Matthew Lewis, aka that umbrella guy. The amended complaint arises from a prior lawsuit filed by Lips Fradrigos in the Circuit Court, 9th Judicial Circuit, Orange County, Florida. Well, actually, that would be sort of correct. I mean, that's sort of where it arises from, because you brought suit against all of these people. You brought suit against all of these people. You named them in a lawsuit. You dropped it. J-Hip was included in there too. Were named in that lawsuit, and then you dropped the lawsuit, and then you brought it back up again. Okay. Now, the only problem is because this is where they like to use the double speak and language that doesn't, unless you know what's going on in the case, whenever a court reads this, and I can explain this a little more gently, I suppose. Whenever a court sees filings like this, they don't know the inside of what's going on. They haven't been tuned in to every single YouTube drama. Now you have to understand what started out as basically YouTube drama. And this is a little bit of too long didn't read here for you guys. Okay. So whenever there's YouTube drama, courts aren't paying attention to that. They're paying attention to what is being filed in a court. Okay. Now we all know that early on that Lip showed up and was on the on, I think it was the Two Fleas, or maybe it was on Volmus, something like that. Okay. Nobody paid any attention. Nobody could give two shits. It was whenever she started emailing people and saying, I want to discuss this. And people were like, I don't know who you are. Do your own damn research. Piss off, go away, leave us alone. And after constantly doing that and then lying about it and saying, oh, no, that's not what we meant. We wanted to grift off of your channel because you have bigger channels and we need to bring people in. So we need you to come and talk to us and explain your side to us. No, I don't have to explain any side to you because I don't have a side. I'm looking at the court cases and I'm seeing the filings, I'm seeing what people are doing, and that's what I'm discussing. No different than this. I'm looking at a document, I'm reading, I'm discussing, I'm saying what's going on. I destroyed her in filings at 3-0 as I'm defended Doug and Megan and Doug as well. That's right. You did, J-Hub. That's absolutely correct. I've destroyed them in letters. You've destroyed them in court filings. And I'm already 1-0. You're 3-0. I'm 1-0. I mean, I beat them without ever having to lift a finger, which included claims of defamation, invasion of privacy, and related torts. But here's the thing, idiot. None of that ever went through. So it doesn't matter what you had here. None of this matters. All of what she's saying and what they're trying to claim here matters not a damn bit. None of it. Zero, zilch, nada. None of it matters because you dropped the case. It was filed and maintained without probable cause for improper purposes, despite the plaintiff's assertion that the prior lawsuit was filed and maintained without probable cause and for improper purposes. Yeah, because that's why you dropped it. The facts demonstrate the original action was initiated only after extensive harassment. Well, that would be a lie and that would be incorrect because the initial extensive harassment started with what? It started with Leslie creating a site called the Hodunk Hillbillies or Hodunk Heroes or something like that. I don't know because I didn't really give two shits about it, but it seemed like the fleas were having a great time with it. So then how many months was it before then that they were doing that? It was what, 2-3 months that you were involved? Was it longer than that? I'm curious how long before, how long were they showing these kinds of things and saying, let's go after an attack and make a mockery of Jeremy. Okay, whatever. Nobody paid any attention to it. Nobody gave two shits about it. They were just like, whatever, nobody cares. It wasn't until you started putting vulgar images up there and sharing prawn on your website and then attacking individuals, doxing Megan, doxing Tug, things like that, doxing me, got other people promoting it. Then maybe, people were just like, okay, this shit has to stop. YouTube channels, which she immediately pulled down, as well as other plaintiffs ignored cease and desist requests. What other plaintiffs? Because I will say that I have read through this, and if I'm not mistaken, according to Randy's filing, that the only person that was emailed a cease and desist was Megan Fox. If I'm not mistaken, that's pretty much what happened. And she, if I'm not mistaken, it wasn't even a proper cease and desist. It wasn't written by an attorney. It wasn't mailed to her by an attorney. It came from an unknown email address that we already know that somebody uses to file things with. I mean, there's really bad inconsistencies with this. I think Megan has a cease and desist. I don't remember ever seeing it, but I'm pretty sure that right there, this first thing is a lie. Well, lastly, the voluntary dismissed their lawsuit without prejudice and no findings against merit of their complaint. Well, that's the thing, is you didn't do due diligence when you got sort of your ass handed to you left, right, and center. And yeah, you pretty much dropped it right after Jeremy accepted service. You remember that, Jeremy and George said, hey, well, we're accepting service. Let's go ahead and go on with this. Oh, and then immediately, not too long after that, you just sort of whimpered out of existence. Yeah, you filed a frivolous lawsuit. That's what you're being sued for, right? It's not defamation. It's for interference in a business. I'm pretty sure that's what you're being sued for. Rather than providing any factual basis for claims of abusive process and malicious prosecution, plaintiffs rely on unsupported, vague, and conclusory allegations, ignore the context of ongoing threats. Nobody that I know of has made any threats to you. You're the one that's made threats to yourself. You went on Facebook, you went on YouTube, you got your ass handed to you, you got teased and mocked for your stupidity and your horrible ability to write a legal brief. From what I remember, I'll join you, Shizzy. I have insight on this. I know you do, Jay. No, I've got it. I'll bring you on some point. This tonight's not the night. Trust me on that. Ongoing threats, harassment, intimidation continue to be directed at the defense. This motion seeks to address these deficiencies, dismiss the plaintiff pending amended complaint, and clarify the record for the court. This court should know that all plaintiffs have used this case. Defendants' prior case and voluminous other cases of plaintiffs are currently suing other in federal courts as content for profit their YouTube channels. This has nothing to do with this case whatsoever. This case is this case. Those cases, you inserted your shit in there for God knows what reason other than then you drop the case. So what that means is jack squat. On or about May 19th, Leslie filed a lawsuit by and through her attorney, husband, lover, paramour, whatever you want to call them, against Jeremy Hales and George, Megan Fox, and that umbrella guy. But see, you're missing. No, if I'm not mistaken, because whenever I see this, that would be incorrect, because on or about May 19th, you filed a lawsuit pro se. Yes. And I'm pretty positive that I could go back and pull up the documents, but I'm pretty sure that this was filed pro se. And then you only named Jeremy, George. I'm not positive Elephant Shoe was in that at the time. And I believe it was J Hip, Megan Fox, that umbrella guy, and 10 John or Jane Does. Now, I'm pretty sure that's how it was in the circuit court of the Ninth Judicial Circuit. The lawsuit was never served on plaintiffs. Well, but they knew about it because you boasted about it and bragged about it online. So that doesn't matter. Elephant, blah, 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 only filed a notice of appearance and accepted assurance. Yeah. Never responding or answering the complaint because they had plenty of time to respond, but it seems like maybe somebody got a little scared because why would it that they got scared? Why was it that they were so worried about this? Oh, because it was one of those shotgun pleadings, wasn't it? Yeah, it sort of sucked. Well, in the lawsuit, Lips by and through her attorney. Well, no, that would be a lie, because it wasn't until you filed the second amended complaint, or was it the first amended complaint? It was the first or second amended complaint that you filed, and that somebody added their name in there, because I'm pretty positive the first one was not anything but a bunch of gobbledygook that was thrown together, dropped, and then your husband joined in and refiled again. And she was claiming defamation, invasion of privacy, which nobody gave two shits about. They didn't defame you. Intentional infliction of emotional stress, which didn't happen. Negligent infliction of emotional distress, which didn't happen. Cyber stalking harassment, nobody did. Civil conspiracy, well, there were people that did that, but that was you, Lips. You're the one that was cyber stalking, cyber harassing, doing revenge prawn, all those kinds of things. All these things that you were claiming other people were doing was what you were doing yourself, idiot. Tortious interference with a business relationship against the plaintiffs. With nothing. It was what, 137 pages of bullshit or gobbledygook, a bunch of screenshots that meant absolutely nothing, taken in context. Well, and on June 16th, well, she filed a motion to amend. So June 16th is whenever her husband came in, by and through, that would be true, acknowledging that plaintiffs had not been served with the process. But you left something out there. You left out that you dropped the case, and you dropped everybody in the case. And then you reinserted them. Why don't you include that in what you've got here? That should be number 4, not number 2 or 3, whatever. Talks about not saying anything. It's like blah, blah, blah. The John and Jane Does weren't anyone in particular. It was a cover. Anyone else we feel like eventually. Well, no, they were actually going after people on YouTube. They made these statements. They made the statements that they were going after people that were not just on YouTube, but on Facebook, that were disagreeing with them. Anybody that disagreed with Lips, that's who's being targeted. That's what their targeting was. Anybody that was on, and I think it was part of that fake What the Hell's Facebook group. Blah blah blah. I hate autocorrect. No, I mean, you can correct me if I'm wrong, but that's where that shit was coming from. That they were very concerned about what people were posting on Facebook about them, mocking them, laughing at them for being completely foolish. This is where all the Muppets came from, because they called everybody a bunch of Muppets. And was this before or after Doritos turned off the internet? I have no idea when that happened. Shizzy asked, was it? Shizzy has your Twitter. There you go. Thank you. I do. Defendant's lawsuit arose after Lips participated in interviews regarding ongoing federal litigation involving plaintiff Jeremy Hales, despite having no prior involvement with the place. Directly after this interview, where defendant Lips asked neutral questions. No, that is not true. They were not neutral questions. And you were not attacked by anybody. You were mocked endlessly for your ignorance because you did not look at the case. Although you said, I've read through all the documents, but you didn't. That's why you were mocked. Everybody told you exactly what was happening and mocking you because not even Lips, you idiots had no idea who fucking George was. You had vomit over there. Go, who's George? He probably still doesn't know who George is because he's got his head so far up his ass that he can taste his balls. Just saying, this guy's an idiot. And then you got Lips over here that's sitting there going, well, I would simply ask neutral questions pertaining to Jeremy Hill's lawsuit. And she was attacked. She was attacked. No, she wasn't. She wasn't attacked at all. People laughing at you for being an idiot is not being attacked. Yeah, she bombarded the fake Facebook page and attacked the regulars there. See, I don't know. I mean, I go on there and look at it every so often. I mean, like I said, I do have a Facebook account. Some of you might actually be here, and I did accept your friend request. I don't know. I had to cut back on the friend request. Yeah, she bragged about it in the Hodunks text. Exactly, J-Hub. She was attacked throughout voluminous social media forums under the control of the plaintiffs. Whoa, no. No, see, that right there is a lie. That's a falsity. And I hope you get called out on your bullshit, because that right there is an absolute lie. Because who is in charge of the fake Facebook group? I don't know who is. I got back on Facebook, what, a month or two ago? I don't know. It was a little while ago. Just so I see, my goal was going on Facebook, that if I get enough followers on Facebook, I can stream to Facebook also. Of course, they probably won't like it and probably shut my channel down or something. I don't know. Something like that. Just, yeah, well, for sure, you and Shizzy will connect and do a live together. He said he'll connect. That'll be for sure. Well, yeah, we'll do something. We'll do something. J-Up, just not tonight. She bragged about the Hodunks in text. Yeah. Directly after this interview, where defendant Lips simply asked neutral questions. No, she didn't. Just simply asked neutral questions, and she was laughing at the revenge prawn. Big freaking difference. You were there with I think it was vomit and paint chips. Yeah. Yeah, you were that's been copied, recorded. The way that you were acting was serious misbehavior for somebody that was claiming to be an attorney, and you were claiming to be an attorney that whole time. If I'm not mistaken, that was the biggest thing. It's like, well, I'm retired, giving the impression that you're not permanently retired. See, there's a big difference between being retired and being permanently retired. Retired means that you left on good terms. Permanently retired, you were given a fucking choice. And that choice was retire. And you've got sanctions under you right now. You can't just all of a sudden retire. We're not going to let that happen. You've got problems. You've got some serious problems. You were doing stuff that got you sanctioned. Your ass got sanctioned 9 times to hell and back. We've read the documents. That's what you were being mocked over claiming to be an attorney, a retired attorney. No, permanently retired attorney. If the court starts digging into why you're permanently retired, they might think twice about your shenanigans. All made defendant Leslie Frederico the subject of their YouTube content where they publicly receive monetary donations. No, we receive monetary donations regardless of you. That's what these idiots don't understand. We receive those monetary donations, and they're not really monetary donations. I'm trying to think what they're called. They're called super chats, because people want to see that super chat brought up. They say something that's sharp, witty, or intelligent, or they have a question, and they put the super chat in there. And whenever they do, we bring those up when we read them. Or people send money because they enjoy the content that we're putting out. That's why they become subscribers. It's because we actually entertain. We provide something of value, and we receive something in compensation for that. That's how YouTube works. Unlike you and your little cohorts that were raising money for, what was it, a barn, a building, a fence, a Christmas, a memorial. People that you were in there hanging out with, did you not vet these people before you got on there? Or just all of a sudden it's just like, oh, I had no idea that, that they were taking money from this old woman and using the child to grift off of. Is that going to be your excuse now? I mean, come on. What is it that you're going to do? What is it that you're saying now? Well, they all made defendant Leslie Frederico the subject of the YouTube content. No. That would be incorrect. We made the content about your screw ups. We looked at all the things that you were doing because nobody knew who you were. We saw the kind of crap that you were doing. We said, oh, this is the person that's doing this. Oh, wait a second. Now, wait, what? So she wants me to roast her. Okay, so I'm not going to roast you, but I'm going to read whatever it is that you filed. You're saying that you're this retired attorney. Well, why are you retired? Why are you on a YouTube channel giving legal advice? We started looking, and next thing you know, we start uncovering all kinds of shenanigans. We start looking at the kind of trouble that you got into. And it wasn't some concerted effort. Each one of us, because this is what we fucking do for a living. This is how we make our channels grow. Thank you, Blake Rich. I appreciate it. Meant to be sharp and witty stuff. Shit. Oops. Here's a donation. I want a sticker. Don't withhold, or it's a fraud. Oh my gosh. Super chats, because we love you and your letters. I know. And I love doing them. I love doing them. At some point they will come to an end. Not anytime soon, but they will come to an end. And I know you guys will miss them, but I will continue to still look at court documents. That's what I do on YouTube. I look at court documents. I discuss things. I I break things down, try to make it simple or simpler for you. Thank you so much, Blake Rich. Oh my gosh. Emma Washington with it's meant to be sharp and witty stuff. Oh, shit. Oops. No, it is always sharp and witty. I mean, most people are much sharper and wittier than I am. I'm like I said, there's a reason why I have the safety gear, because you know the head was not formed correctly. In case you didn't know. And Jay Hip says, here's a donation. I want a sticker. Withhold. Well, Jay, you're going to have to get used to getting withheld from. You know, you stream with a bunch of women. This is why you're always withholding. No, you've got some great co-hosts there, Jay. I'm good to see you, brother. Good to see you. Thank you so much for the $5 super chat. But here's the thing. She was attacked. No, she was all of her crap was being brought out on the forefront. Additionally, plaintiffs took copies of Leslie's lawsuit where they published them to their YouTube channel. Audiences scrutinized her lawsuit publicly after defendant Lips filed the court to have the lawsuit sealed and confidential. But if it wasn't sealed and confidential, if I'm not mistaken, that it was open to the public. See, you're the one that posted this up there. You did this to try to shame people and get people to shut the fuck up. That's why you filed a lawsuit. You went on the attack of people and you used the court system to do it, which would be fraud upon the court if they'd so decide that that's what it is. It would be a vexatious litigant. If I'm not mistaken, this sounds really fucking familiar to the other 3 people that you sued, and you also called them stalkers and sued them, and then voluntarily dismissed from those cases after costing them how many hundreds of thousands of dollars. And combined, how much was it that you cost these people that they had to get attorneys to defend themselves? We've read through some of the cases. How wasn't this the same shit that you pulled on your mother too? I mean, you know, we've looked at these court cases. So how is this any different? Yeah, some of those were private also. They're not anymore. They're publicly available. Anybody can go to Orange County's website and pull that shit up and pull those documents down and read them for themselves. So if you think that we're sitting there going, oh, well, it's to maintain privacy and not make a lawsuit public knowledge. No, your bullshit needs to be exposed. Whenever you're pulling these kinds of things out in the open, yeah, they're going to be exposed. You're going to be exposed for your bullshit. There it is. Defendant Lips filed her lawsuit against the plaintiffs after she served them with the cease and desist. No, that would be a lie and that would be incorrect. That never happened. Requesting for them to cease publishing all defamatory statements being made about her, but nobody was making any defamatory statements about you. They were looking at your court documents, the shit that you filed, and calling her for what it was, absolute garbage. No different. Please invite Jay to read a letter, Shizzy. Should I invite Jay to read a letter? Well, we may make that happen. We may make that happen if he can contain himself. I don't know. We'll have to see, Jay. How do you feel about reading a letter? Can you contain yourself without like busting a nut? Because I know you'll bust a nut over here reading this. We'll have to see. I'm late again. Howdy, Philly Shizzers. We'll get closer to that. We'll get closer to that. Yes. We'll see. We'll see if Jay's still alive whenever I get done with this, because I know that man needs to get some sleep. He needs beauty rest. Would you like to know? Yeah, everybody said yes. We'll get there. Defendant Leslie Federico's filed her. I'm not even halfway through this yet, so you know, it may be tomorrow that I make it happen. Make it happen. He's like always busting nut. Maybe not, so make it happen.
Welcome to the
Shit show. Every single day, a new flavor of buggery. 'cause everybody sucks, you see, and they're dumber than a bag of rocks. Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, 4 more days of increasingly stupid, ridiculous, ignorant, bald, dash, poppycock, bollocks, and fuggery. Oh, you guys are just losing it over here. Let me see. I'll see if I can get this up now. See, I can't be doing these like 12-hour streams, you know, and that's what worries me about Jay is because, you know, once you get him going, he starts losing his mind. Let me find the X here, and I'll shout at him on the X and give him a hard time over there. You're not working tonight? That's good to see. That's good to see. All right. There's the invite, but you will have to be patient because it's not going to happen right away. She filed a lawsuit against the plaintiffs after she served them with cease and desist letters requesting for them to cease publishing all defamatory statements being made about her. Plaintiffs all responding with a mockery established they had no intention of ceasing the publication of the false statements about defendant. Okay. Defendant Michael Federigos failed to conduct a reasonable investigation of the facts and law prior to filing the original lawsuit. Correct, because he wasn't named. He wasn't. I mean, what do you mean by the original lawsuit? Because that's where it's a little funky there. However, provide no basis or specific action to substantiate this allegation. Plaintiffs allege Michael Federigos knew or should have known that the claims asserted lacked merit. However, provided no basis for specific action. They allege that he did on June 15th. He filed a request for judicial notice of the original lawsuit case in Levy County. Okay. So this is, that's right. So this is whenever they filed this into the whatchamacallit? What do you call that thing? Yeah. Not only in Levy County, but in a federal court case, if I'm not mistaken, Ohio. Defendant did not represent any part in the proceeding before the second court. But is that true? Defendant had no legitimate purpose for filing the request for judicial notice in the third court or second court. Defendant Michael Federigos' purpose for filing, that's not what it was said in there. What they're talking about is there was no reason for filing these notices in there. Good to see you, Black Robin. Thank you for jumping in, saying hi. Appreciate you. I think that stink goes for miles and miles. I'm not interjecting, just playing. If Shizzy really wants me, I'll be there. I was just getting around. I'm here though. Well, no, we'll see whenever we get there. You know, you're always welcome to come on here for tonight if you really want to read the open letter, because it's going to be a blister. You have to have fun with it though. Plaintiffs allege defendants filed and maintained the original lawsuit without problem, just as long as you're not shit-faced drunk, because that would be bad. We don't want to do that. especially if you've been drinking. No, you don't want to be doing this while you've been drinking, because you'll just end up like choking all over yourself. Alleged defendants used the lawsuit for improper purposes for inter alia to make the claims that have an official stamp of approval because they are part of public record rather than seek legitimate legal remedies. However, provide no basis or specific action to substantiate this allegation. Actually, they do throughout the entire lawsuit. They do. They allege as a result of defendants' actions, plaintiffs have suffered damages included legal fees, correct, cost, reputational harm, yes, emotional distress, yes, and business losses, yes, because they don't have to. However, provided no basis, because at this point they don't have to. We've already gone through this stuff before. On July 28th, represented by Randall Shochet, filed an amended complaint naming 5 plaintiffs. Jeremy Hales, Megan Fox. This amended complaint asserted 2 claims against each of the defendants. 1, abusive process, malicious prosecution arising out of the case. Defendant Leslie Federigos filed original lawsuit case in pro se on May 19th. Well, why didn't you say that at the beginning? Because that, wait, so you're disputing what she set up here in 1? So no, that so she says on or about May 19th, she filed it through attorney. And then we come down here to where she says that she filed it pro se. Was it 19, I think? It was 19. So which one is it? Which one is it? Because you can't have it both ways. When did you, okay, I'm confused. Satisfy the fourth element of prosecution, there needs to be an absence of this is all just legal jargon. Malicious prosecution against an attorney, just basically trying to set standards on it. Need not be certain of the outcome. Satisfy the fifth. Plaintiffs failed to allege they suffered damages. That's not true. They were never served. Yes, but yeah, that's not how the law works. The mere filing of complaint, claims should be dismissed because Florida litigation privilege. No, that's not true. Trial court could grant law firms attorneys motion to dismiss on the basis of, now, see, they're trying to claim litigation privilege, but that's not how that works. It provides that while litigation, no, see, you're claiming the wrong thing there. Furthermore, plaintiffs can properly request a remedy of punitive damages for the claims. Wherefore, defendants request this honorable court to dismiss with prejudice all plaintiffs' claims against all defendants, grant reasonable attorney fees pursuant to 57-105, and the alternative should any claim not be dismissed. Well, then we request the allegations be pled with more definitive statements and all the remedies necessary and under statute. Well, I think they were pretty fucking clear on what you did. They were pretty clear in their filings and their pleadings exactly what you did. So that's how that goes. Put ones in the chat, people. Why are you putting ones in the chat? Ones in the chat for Jay to read a letter for Shizzy. Well, what do you got? I see a whole bunch of ones there. Max Lab, Loathe Ashton Kutcher. He knew about the perv and wanted to buy for them. I don't know about Ashton Kutcher, but I wouldn't like to know. Bat Not Boy, stupid autocorrect. 2. Yeah, people, here's what we can do. I can cure this up really quick. if Jay is good, I'll bring him on and we'll put a poll in here for you guys. How's that? We'll put a poll in here and we will play a song off the newest album once I put the poll in here. Give me a second. I'll get a poll started in here and you want one song or 2 songs? That's the question. One song or 2 songs? It looks like people are saying 1 song. Well, and I would love to have Yamaha in here, but he is not feeling well. So if he was, then I would. I'm going to start a quick little poll in here. And what we're going to do is we're going to put for Jay to read. We'll put it in here. Who will read? And we'll put in here Jay. And we'll put in here Shizzy. And we'll put one more option. One more song. Just for you guys, because I like having fun with you. And we'll put the poll in there. There you go. There is the poll. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull up one of the songs off the new album, so you get to hear that, and then you can decide after that. Give me a second. I'm going to have to end that right there. And let's see. We've got. I think, let's see, that's a short one. I've got 31 buckets and, oh, this one is perfect for tonight. It's called Panties in a Tuff. So let me do that. It's a nice long song. So this is what the album looks like. See, here we go. There's what the album looks like. Barn Burner. We got Panties in a Tuff. And if you know what this means, then you know exactly what it means. But after that, then we'll see. We'll see what you guys choose. All right. Get those votes in.
RV man holding keys, waiting on my call. The child needs structure, life in a rig, routine in a trailer, dreaming real big. Cooking in a hot plate, lesson plans on the seat. Court clerk nods along, but the case can't repeat. Pennies in a tub, RV on delay. Blueprints in the trash, can't build in my way. Pennies in a tub, judge don't play pretend. The hour file Friday is never the end. You don't know my pain, typed in caps lock rage. The clerk knows my story, I'm the star of this stage. You run the show, please, it's laughable noise. I'm the blueprint queen of expired toys. Refiling again, the Lord's got my back, but the docket don't lie, it's a permanent smack. Say I'm harassed, say I'm falsely accused, but my GoFundMe link still sitting unused. Pennies in the tub, don't tell me I'm late. On the block, still raising that rate. Pennies in the tub, engineer on deck, but the plans don't count. Gotta cut a new check. Nobody swinging hammers, house dreams pause. New laws in effect, inspectors got claws. Engineers visit, blueprints denied. Need a third-party permit at fees on the side. Plans need rework, stamped and redone, but the clock ticks louder, no progress begun. I call the lady who drew it last year, but the line stays busy, the dream ain't clear. 3 years, no donation, remember that fact, but I'll fundraise again, bring the RV back. 600 for the papers, 8,000 for the ride. Still posting my pleas on the Facebook side. You torment, harass, humiliate my kin. You belittle, accuse, but the child stays in. What if you were innocent, walking this road? Think about the toll while I shoulder the load. Still rehoming tortoises, bless every shell. Fishing game signed off, all is well. Don't judge my permit, don't shame my name, 'cause my trailer dreams still play the game. Pennies in a tub, blueprint blues on the floor. Pennies in a tub, can't take it no more. Pennies in a tub, fundraiser in the night. Pennies in a tub, Lord will make it right. I don't need your judgment, don't need your call, but I'll post another paragraph, list it all. You don't know my husband, you don't know my strife, you don't know the child or my day-to-day life. You don't know the attorney, don't know the toll, but I'll tell it again till I feel whole. Naive or mistaken, don't make it a crime, but I'll stretch these excuses one more time. We got beautiful babies, each with a scar. We took them in broken, now they're superstar. Talking fundraiser plans, need 6 to 8K for the child to have routine, to live the right way. RV Kingdom, home on the wheel. Every Facebook post just doubles the feel. Judge me, shame me, but the story goes on. I'll rant in all caps till the haters are
like
gone.
this, and then place your thumb on top like so. That will increase the pleasure.
Hey, Jay, you can unmute, brother.
Hey, man, how's it going?
How you doing tonight? Let's go ahead and end this poll. We'll end the poll. We'll see exactly what we got here. It looks like with 40%, they want Jay. With 40%, they want me. With 52 votes. And we've got one more song. 19% want one more song.
Well, we're tied then. We're tied. So
Yes.
you're tied.
We're tied. Oh my gosh. What are we going to do about that?
We might have to battle it out in a Thunderdome.
Okay. I'll throw the first punch. My arms are weak. My arms are weak. I don't think I can do it.
You know what? I haven't seen your streams live recently, so I felt bad because I work overnight, so I usually grab Pug or Megan, and then I have to watch the idiot shows with ketchup, and so I can do a recap. And then I catch you later on in the morning. You know?
Yeah. Yeah, and I don't mind the later on in the morning, but of course, you know, I do have a letter tonight for everybody. So it's up to you if you want to read. It's a long letter if you can handle it.
Maybe I'll read the first part and then we'll see how it goes, and then maybe you can handle it. Let's see how it goes.
What we can do is we can swap out paragraphs. How's that?
Yeah, let's do that. That'd be good. It'd be good
Yeah.
for the crowd and get some people.
Okay, I'll start it off, and of course I have this wonderful little intro that I have to do beforehand, and you know what that means. The helmet comes on.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
Wait, Shizzy, I don't have a helmet. Am I gonna
No, that's okay. Your head will work just fine for a helmet.
Okay.
An open letter to Lips and Chips, the $4 shotgun circus. What Lips and Chips filed isn't a motion to dismiss. Well, it's bullshit. A steaming pile of dumpster juice, the kind of thing you'd expect from two trash pandas rooting around in the back of an alley of the law. It's not argument, it's noise, not precision, but a scattershot mess. The courtroom version of shaking up a can of paint and dumping it on the judge's desk. And if this were food, it'd be gas station sushi that's already turned.
And that's where the lying starts. Lips and Chips. You want the court to believe Leslie filed her original lawsuit by and through her attorney. That's pure poppycock. Lips filed it pro se with her own shaky hand and dumped it on the docket. Only later did you, Chips, come waddling in to tape your name onto an amendment, pretending you'd been steering from day one while also standing there as a defendant. That's garbage theater and sucky. You weren't running the case, you were already drowning in it.
And there's your crying about service. You whine that Fox and Tug were never served, like they were hiding in witness protection. The truth? Well, the two of you morons dropped $4 at the clerk's office to cover service for everyone. Jeremy, Elephant Shoe, George, Fox, Tug, and a whole crowd of John and Jay Does. That brain trust, the brain trust, Lips, dreamed up because people mocked her on Facebook $4 to serve an entire circus. The clerk flagged it. You told you to cure it, and you didn't. That's not plaintiffs dodging. That's you two being too cheap and too sloppy to follow the rules. Well, meanwhile, Jeremy, Elephant Shoe, George accepted service through counsel without any games. But in your motion, you twist that into never responded. Well, idiots, that's not law. That's stupidity on a letterhead.
In your big cease and desist campaign? More lies. You padded it into plural when the truth is singular. One email from lips to Megan, nobody else. And when Megan told her, do your own damn research, you warped it into intimidation. That wasn't harassment, moron. That was the only useful advice Lips has ever gotten because she's an idiot. But instead of listening, this moron turned Megan's ignoring and unhinged maniac's antics into melodrama about threats that were never made because she's stupid.
And when the case collapsed, you tried to dress up surrender as strategy. Lips voluntarily dismissed her case voluntarily. Nobody forced her. Nobody held a gun to her head. She folded like a discount go-go dancer on a stripper pole because the lawsuit was a hollow mess. And you both know it, yet you're retelling this becomes intimidation, as if invisible bullies pushed her into filing that dismissal notice. Garbage. And Fox and Tug, well, their dismissals were filed with the phrase resolved outside of court, as though some noble settlement had been reached, except no one on the other side signed, agreed, or even knew about it. Lips scribbled resolved into her own paperwork like a kid forging a field trip slip and hoped that nobody checked. She's done these things before too. This is why she was sanctioned in the first place. Or have you forgotten?
And Orange County wasn't enough for you two. You took the clown car on tour. Oh yeah. Levy County, where Chips wasn't even counsel of record in the federal court. These detours had nothing to do with relief. They were about broadcast, amplification, spreading the same shot across as many dockets as possible, like shit flung everywhere, every courthouse lawn. And now the anti-what the hell's crew points to those filings as proof. Jeremy files lawsuits for YouTube content. Yep, seen it, been done. The irony couldn't be thicker. You gave them that narrative by splattering Leslie's bullshit wherever you could. You fucked that up too. Not that we would expect anything better from the two of you, because you filed a lawsuit against just J-Hip. That was a mistake.
This wasn't even new, Lips. You were already sanctioned for pulling this bullshit, like slipping an extra letter into opposing counsel's email so they wouldn't get filings. Well, then acting like their silence was consent. That wasn't an oops. That was a trick, and your ass got busted. This motion is cut from the same cloth. You misquote, misdirect, pad the record, and hope the court doesn't notice that smell. And in case you haven't noticed, everyone sees through your bullshit. Same game you've been playing. Screw things up, play the victim, cry when you get called out, and claim ATA protection. What the fuck are you smoking?
I mean, he ain't protected too. They don't even have ramps leading into their home. But okay, your law section. Don't make me laugh. It doesn't read like a motion to dismiss. It reads like a press release, bloated with shotgun citations you don't even apply correctly. Some don't fit at all. Others actually help the plaintiffs, and the rest are mangled so badly they're unrecognizable. You chant reasonable lawyer as if the words alone mean something, but no reasonable lawyer thinks skipping service fees, amending without leave, and dragging a state complaint in a federal court is tenable. If this is what you call reasonable, the bar exam should come with a disclaimer. This person passed, but don't rely on them to useful in anything other than wasting precious resources. You deny malice was pled while quoting the exact standard that says malice can be inferred from lack of probable cause. Congratulations, you just argued against yourselves, you freaking idiots and morons.
And then the finale, your so-called prayer for relief, dismissal with prejudice, sanctions, attorney's fees, and if all that fails, could the court at least make the plaintiffs rewrite their complaint so it sounds nicer to you? You're so stupid. You didn't even allow room for you to amend, and I thought I was the only idiot around here.
You didn't even spell aloud correctly. That was horrible. That was horrible. This thing's falling apart.
So true. So true.
The truth is simple. Your motion is the very definition of a shotgun pleading. Bloated, repetitive, backed by $4 lousy and reeking of desperation. It smells like shit. It doesn't undermine plaintiff's case. It confirms it. Every excuse you make is evidence. Every misquote is another brick in the wall of misconduct. Every detour, every dismissal, every bit of poppycock shovel proves while malicious prosecution abuse of process fits you like a glove that should have never fitted in the first place because it's garbage.
What you filed is a shield, isn't a shield, it's a confession. So let's not sugarcoat it. This motion is trash. Filed by trash pandas, dressed up as law, but still trash. Signed. Go ahead.
Shizzywhiznut, aka Papa Nut, the legal badger of doom, Velcro shoot, short bus riding, sniffing out the bullshit faster than lips and chips are filing it. Way to go, Doritos and lips for sucking at life.
It is about time. Let's break this mother down. With Shizzywhiznut.
That was fun. This is when everyone should give us super chats because we did a pretty good job, Shizzy.
I always have fun doing this. You have to understand, that's why I do this. It's for the fun. The super chats are always nice, but I'll tell you, the fun is much more fun. Another amazing letter from Shizzy, and first time just Jay reading. Yes, it is. Perfect as normal. Well done. Well, thank you. Thank you. We enjoy doing these kinds of things because that's what it is. It's supposed to be fun. If it wasn't fun, I don't think we would do it. Am I right?
I hope I did a good job. It was my first time, and I didn't mean to boast my way into your stream.
No, it was perfect. It was perfect. You did great. You did great, Jay.
Actually, it's perfect because I have a hairhead. So it was perfect.
That's true. That's true. You are perfect.
You know, Dick Lickman calling me, saying that I had a pear-shaped head and calling me a stupid pearhead was the greatest thing he could have ever done for me.
Oh, I'm telling you. Angie says, not bad for a pair.
Yeah, Angie.
Thank you, Angie. I appreciate it. No, it isn't bad for a pair. I mean, there's a reason. There's a reason for everything that we do, and most of it is just because we're idiots. I mean, I am. I don't know about Jay. I think he's a pretty smart guy. Me, I'm an idiot.
I'm pretty stupid, but I am. I did manage to get Miyagi to marry me. I wooed her, and we're getting married next Saturday afternoon.
Oh, nice.
Yes, and she's wonderful, and she's really super nice to me. My understanding is the flea bags don't like her.
I wonder why that is. I cannot figure that out until Jay. He's perfectly pear-shaped.
Thank you, Vivian.
Thank you so much. Yes, Jay is perfectly pear-shaped. He's a wonderful pear-shaped individual. This is why we enjoy Just Jay. Yep. So what do you got going on this week, Jay? What do you got going on?
Tomorrow night, well, actually tonight, I guess no, tomorrow night. It's still 11:37 my time. So tomorrow night, we got People Watch at 8:45 p.m. as always. Same with Saturday night. We have People Watch. And Saturday afternoon, I do my What the Hells, make fun of all the anti-What the Hells ecosystem. And I'm going to do a big covering of the Fleabag and her legal analysis of everything. Because she's really smart, Shizzy. She's pretty good. What she's going to do is she's going to take her computer in and show the judge and have him click on the word polymop. And the judge is going to be like, that's it, dismissed.
Oh, yeah. Well, that's how that brain trust works, isn't it? I'm serious. I mean, I've been amazed at the idiocy that comes out of there. And the good thing is we got you, and I watch so you don't have to. So those are two people that always keep me informed on the kind of bullshit they're talking about. Unless it's something that involves me, I usually just don't really care.
Honestly, the I watch so you don't have to is wonderful, and also I have to watch it with catch up because I do my flea caps, which are very popular because I give you actually the entire show in a nutshell in 20 minutes. I give you the entire 6 to 7 hour stream.
Oh, Jesus.
20 minutes. But I have to go through the painstaking trouble of watching the whole thing. It sucks. But I do it for the people. That's why I do it.
Yeah, 6 to 7 hours. That's a lot. That's a lot. I don't think I could handle 6 to 7 hours. I don't have enough time in my life for that.
Their stream the other night was 6 hours and like 30 minutes. And I was like, I had to fast forward through the first few hours to get to where Fleabag came on and she went nuts on everybody and was freaking out because I guess in prayers, I guess Ray's wife died. So
yeah.
She passed away. Prayers for her, but they are dropping like flies over there on the other side. I don't want to be a bad guy, so prayers for Ray's wife. But you still have to deal with what you did.
I mean, I said that at the beginning of my stream that for him and his family, prayers out to them because a loss is a loss, and that is a very very sad thing. I mean, I don't wish that on anybody.
Absolutely.
That is something that's like, and whenever I heard that Stark had passed, I couldn't get any confirmation on it, but then whenever I found that yes, that was true, that Stark passed, I was like, that just it sucks. It absolutely does suck. And you got people that are wanting to accuse other people of causing this, and it's like, no, nobody caused this. These are people that are in poor health in the first place. And shit happens whenever you're a certain age.
Yeah.
And I feel bad that happens, and all of that. That's how we have. over here on this channel, we don't, condone people losing their lives. That's not what we look for.
Absolutely.
And
Be honest though, if I pass away tomorrow, I would hope everyone makes some wonderful jokes about it and have a wonderful time with it, because that's how I live my life. That I would want them to post some of my past streams and just have a wonderful time with everything I've done on stream. I've only been, I've only done this for 6 months. But there's 6 months of my stuff out there that I hope people would share if something happens to me. But I don't want anyone to ever be sad about it happened to me. Have a good time with it. Have fun and enjoy life, or the life that I gave you.
Exactly. Enjoy my stuff post-mortem. That's what I say.
Exactly. Just like Legal Vices, he was the best at it. He always said, I never told anybody I was doing stuff online. I wanted them to find out about it later on, and then they'd have, tons of material to go back and watch me on. He was wonderful. He was my favorite. And he's what brought me to YouTube. So no, that was great. Good. But no, this dummy Lips, she did so many problems when she texted me 72 times. The same with you. She messaged you 100 times, and sending
chat.
She was sending me super chats and all this shit, and it said like, I can't believe you gave me the name Lips. I appreciate it so much. I'm going with Hot Lips. And I'm like, all right, idiot. She's so stupid. But it was the funnest thing ever. Although it was a dark time to get all of those text messages from her. And I actually fell for it. I contacted her and I took a lot of shit for it. But you know what? In the end, it's all good. But no, I fell for it. But no, she's an idiot and she sucks. And you see it, her entire life is falling apart right now.
Yeah, and I mean, and like I said, I don't wish harm on anyone. And whenever I heard Ray's wife passed, I mean, and even whenever she was in the hospital, I was like, prayers out to his family. Exactly. But still, I'm not appreciative of the way that he acted of going after people. Megan Fox, Tug, Megan, condoning going after people, doxing them. I don't have a whole lot of love for Ray because of that, and it would take a whole lot for me to reconcile my my anger at him for behaving and acting in such a bad way. So, I mean, like I said, thoughts and prayers out to him and his family, because that's not something that I want anybody to have happen. But I will say that, he is in the middle of a lawsuit for the things that he did. And whenever I heard that, what was it, Paint Chips was saying, well, I might consider, accepting service if you'll drop Ray. That's not how this shit works. That's not how it works.
No, that's not how it works at all. You don't just get to excuse bad behavior because you have some sort of family emergency. And once again, I'll always say prayers to Ray, and for his wife passing, and it's a sad situation, but it never excuses what you did. You could take that to any criminal that's behind bars. You can't just say, oh, well, a family member is passing away, you should release me, and now I'm in the clear. That's not how this works. That's not how you excuse bad behavior. But at the same time, of course, prayers to him and his family while he goes through this, but he's still going to have, a court case.
He's still accountable for misbehavior.
Yeah.
And that's what it really boils down to. I mean, you have to understand that I read through court documents, and whenever Lips wanted to bring me on into that lawsuit, I was just like, well, that's a bad idea. And I said it publicly. That's a bad idea because, whenever you do these kinds of things, It causes problems that are unnecessary. And you're doing this maliciously. And you know, whenever she added me in there, and then everybody's calling for, you know, well, let's dox this guy and find out who he is.
Wow.
Well, that's taking it way beyond. And you know, for one, I never looked for who Ray was. That's not part of what I do here. I don't go looking for who these people are, and I try to keep their identities, you know, quiet. I don't publish what Lips's address is, or Shochet's, or anybody else's if I can avoid it. Sometimes it gets slipped in there and I'm like, God damn it. You know, and I try to make sure that I edit that stuff out. I don't like promoting that kind of stuff, because I don't think anybody should receive that kind of treatment. But it's become very clear people on the other side don't have that same sort of filter or appreciation for people's privacy, at the cost of causing problems, because you have somebody doxing, you know, calling CPS on Tug. You have people doxing Megan, showing her house or address, and boasting about how great that is that they've done this. And they don't realize the kind of problems that they're causing. And whenever I put out a post that said, hey, you know, people doxing me, just keep me as a John Doe, but don't do this, because there's people that can be in the crosshairs. The outcome of that can be very drastic. You know, if
I've always, you know, but I've always been very open, you know, because I live at 4802 Krug Avenue. That's KRUG, Krug Avenue, Omaha, Nebraska 68106. Because I don't care. Because when you get it out in the open, it actually is very freeing, to where I don't have to worry about Jack, but I also don't have like a family to worry about, or children, or a wife. I mean, I do have Miyagi to worry about now.
yes,
But at the same time, I don't have that same fear, so I can be like, you know, bring it. I'm right here. I don't care. And I've put that out there from day one. When Lips was, you know, put me in a lawsuit, I was like, here's my address. Pay the $400, serve me. I don't care, but you have to actually pay the money. I knew she didn't have the money, because I knew she was broke. And so I knew
and they're getting broker and broker by the day. That is the unfortunate part. I mean, they're entangled right now in multiple lawsuits, foreclosures. They've also, and from what I was reading earlier tonight, if you didn't catch it, the appeal that was stalling up one against Michael, he's still on. He's the judge has called for sanctions against him. Now I sit down and I totaled up what those sanctions will be, and let's put it this way: the amount of attorney's fees that's being requested in those documents exceeds well into the six figures. Oh
yeah.
And that's going to be something that he's going to have to resolve, for filing frivolous crap. You know, and sorry, that's the price that you pay whenever you allow, you know, your wife to work under your law license.
You know, actually, at first, I thought maybe he was being duped. I didn't know he was a part of the whole deal, but he is.
Yes.
Yeah, he's not. This isn't some deal where he's being duped. He's a part of the whole scandal that he's, you know, doing. And no, at first I kind of felt bad for him, even though my first email to him, I called him Doritos, and then he got his name Doritos. It's funny how when I give someone a name, that's their name. You know, like I gave Lips her name, I gave Doritos her name, I gave Vomit his name. You know, when I give someone a name, it sticks. and I have my little tiny channel over here. But when I give someone a name, it sticks.
Well, and it's funny because I started calling her legal Leps to start out with. You just called her Leps. And I was like, we were both thinking the same thing.
Yeah, I think you went on one night before me. I think
Yeah.
you went on Tuesday night. I went on Wednesday night. And no, we both went, and she never came after you. She
No.
came after me and Jeremy Hales first. But I never sticked her on you. All right, to be clear.
No, I blame you for every bit of it.
I made a joke of it. I was like, oh no, she was hassling me, so I sicked her over under Shizzy. And I was like, no, that never really happened.
No, it didn't happen.
She did that on her own. She found your leg and humped your leg after she was humping my leg for, a week and a half.
Well, you're going to have Miyagi humping your leg before you know it.
That's good enough. I'll take that any day of the week. I love me some Miyagi. She's wonderful. And she pisses those flea bags off so bad. Yes. I don't know if you saw Mod Squad last night. Well, I'm sure you didn't.
No. No.
I was at work and I waded through the first 4 hours of the show. and Fleabag came on and she cried for like 10 minutes and then she left the show. And then 4.5 hours later, she came back on and she went on a rampage about Miyagi and how, she hates her. And she went on about Megan Fox and Tug and Georgie. She wants to pop Georgie in the mouth. Georgie's going to get popped in the mouth because Georgie's horrible. It was a thing.
See, I don't understand that. Is like, I think maybe that's why they don't come after me, is because I just don't give two shits about them.
Well, for me, it's part of my show because I was true. A cap or a remod squad cap, and so no, I usually watch it just to get material. And I was watching their show, and I did skip past the 4 hours in between where they were doing their show and tell. Where they pull up like a rock and look at this rock. This is $99, whatever. They do that for like 4 hours, and it's cute and adorable. But no, I fast forwarded to that until Fleabag came on, and then she did her. She just went on to her rampage, and it was adorable. And I was like, look at this adorable lady doing her thing.
Yeah, I mean, I just kick back and go.
Well, the crickets are there.
No, like I said, I really don't pay any attention to a whole lot of channels because I'm usually working or setting up for a stream or setting up a show or streaming. I'm constantly busy, so it's always a pleasure to see you wwhenever I get a chance to catch up on whatever it is that you might be doing. It varies. Like I didn't. It was chat that told me what happened with Tug, and after I finished the stream, and I checked in to see how he was doing, and I mean that stuff is ridiculous. These people going after him. I mean, it's like why? What good does this serve? Because all that you're doing is you're motivating someone to dig in deeper, because it means that he's hitting the mark.
That's the thing, though. If you look at Lips, when she sued Jeremy Hales and me, Tug maybe wouldn't have been interested had she just sued Jeremy Hales. She might, he might have just been like, it's not a lawsuit, here's the thing. But, he made it very clear on his show the next day, and even when he called me, he's like, screw this. You're going to come after just J-Hip? Because he knew that she was trying to intimidate me because I was a small channel.
Yeah.
And he's like, no. I will devote my time to destroying this person. And you don't piss off Tug and Tug is my buddy. You know, I love Tug, and she didn't do her research, and she should have. She should have done her research and realized that, just Chip and Tug are buds. This is a big mistake. And no, he took it very personal, and I appreciate that of Tug, because immediately, the day that she put me in a lawsuit, he started in on her. And he said, I want to know everything about her, and I'm coming after this woman. And he did. And I appreciate that. Tug was wonderful to me. And so was Megan Fox. Megan Fox, they both called me the same day I was throwing a lawsuit. They both called me and they said, if you need a lawyer, we'll shill day and night for you. Don't worry about anything. But at the same time, we're going to uncover everything about this woman. Don't worry. And they took care of me. So, no, I appreciate Tug and Megan Fox. They're wonderful. They did everything for me.
Absolutely. Well, I do have to shut this bad boy down tomorrow morning.
See, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to derail you.
No, you're fine. You're fine. Tomorrow morning, I will be doing a stream with Mo in the Deep End. That will be tomorrow morning. I believe we started at 8 o'clock, and we go until we get tired, and they usually an hour, maybe two, and then we finish off, and then Mo does more streams after that. I think she's going to be on with Megan Fox. That might be tomorrow. Then also Friday night, I do a pre-stream before I send everyone over to go check out The Expert, and that's Mo and I. We usually just look at like police chases and crazy stuff, and we've got some pretty cool stories. And tomorrow we have a new song that she asked me. She goes, hey, is this too dark? And I was like, no, I got a song for that one. So it's good stuff, everybody. With that being said, make sure that you've liked, you subscribed, send some love over there to Jay Hip. Make sure that you give him a follow. Get this man over 4,000. Come on, you can do that. It doesn't take much. All you got to do is just give it a little lick, a little touch, and a little push. And he's got some good stuff that he does. Everybody, have a great night. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
Oh, you thought I was done, bless your heart, but I'm still living rent-free, it's a work of art. Call me daddy, call me nut, call me the goat. You're paddling upstream while I'm running this boat. You say, I don't care, yet you're glued to the screen. Caught up in my glow while you stay unseen. Your shade's like a breeze, it's barely a draft. Meanwhile, I'm the Picasso of roasting your ass. You say you're over me, oh how cute, but here I am, still the star of your loop. You're my biggest fans, don't even deny. So grab some popcorn when daddy goes live. Live. Call me daddy, yeah, shout it loud. King of your thoughts, I'm making you proud. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, headline act. Your background noise, and that's just a fact. Let's face the score. You hate that you love me, but you keep wanting more. You're like a dog chasing cars, you don't know why. But here you are, barking while I touch the sky. Your comments are gold, such comedy gold. Who hurt you? Oh wait, it's me, I'm told. You're keeping tabs like an unpaid intern while I'm cashing checks. When will you learn? Your timeline's a shrine to every move I make. I'd say thanks, but you're a nasty skank. Oh, Shizzy's washed up. Yeah, sure, Jan, yet here I am, the centerpiece of your plan. You hate watch my stream like it's Oscar night, but guess what, kiddos? I'm still shining bright. Call me daddy. Send in your bread, I'm still rent-free in your effing head. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy on your brain. I'm your mental landlord, you can't complain. Let's keep it real. You hate that I'm winning, but you love how it feels. Oh, I'm sorry, did I break your streak? You tried to ignore me for like half a week, but daddy's too spicy, you can't look away. I'm the train wreck you need every single day. So while you're out there with your plastic clout, I'm here sipping coffee watching you freak out. You're irrelevant, wow, what a take. Now go rewatch my vids while I count how much I make. I count how much I make. Call me daddy, yeah, own it now. I'm reading your brain and you don't know how. Papa Nut, Shizzy Daddy, let's set the bar. I'm the constellation, you're a burned out star. Embrace your roll. Cause I'm the main character, you're just an old ragged ass burnt out troll. So that's your bedtime story, kids tucked in sweet and snug. Shizzy daddies forever, you lose and you're stuck in the mud. Now say goodnight to Papa Nut, your mental pain. Oh wait, you will see me tomorrow's agenda, will see me tomorrow. Same obsession, same effing thing.